Summoner's Rift, match 1, game 2, Najini Empire versus Anarchy Goon, getting to play that Cassiopeia that has been so strong lately.
Anarchy did choose to ban it out in the first game of this series, in spite of the fact that Najin really hasn't been a big Cassiopeia playing team.
Right. So what if Snowflower picks up Annie and locks him in? They're like, you know, they nerfed her range, and he's like, what? I didn't know that. They're like, you know nothing, John Snowflower. So disappointing.
Oh, I'm gonna have to hear that joke a million times this season, aren't I?
No, not necessarily. Only on special occasions.
Only when Anarchy plays? Okay.
Yeah, that's right. Which will probably not be the postseason, so there you go.
I only have to hear it.
There's a light at the end of the tunnel already.
I only have to hear it 40 times this season.
Hey, Chober might cast some of those games.
No, we're putting you on all the Anarchy days, Della.
Oh boy. I just want all the Sonic Boom days. That's right. Well, some deep rewards going down for Anarchy, just to try to get a sense of where the jungle pathing is going to begin.
Yeah, they actually are going to both be staying at the bottom side this time. Ixu thinking that there may be a lane swap, starting to stack up some of these saplings, so he's going to have to burn his teleport early in this circumstance. Meanwhile, Duke just providing that leash to watch on the other side of the map. And here we go, Snowflower and Songyun after taking a bit of XP. So OQ and Pure taking a little bit of XP right there.
Yep.
Taking the small Krug camp. Meanwhile, it's like Anarchy.
Oh no, that Krug looks so lonely.
Just getting some XP from the minions.
It's just so sad to see Annie have
The
to walk up
575
that far.
range.
Yeah. Oh, that's always been one of my favorite things about playing her, is you can just poke so much with the autos.
Yep, you're one of those jerks, I know.
Rito, why? Jerks? What do you mean?
Yeah, any jerk, you know?
Any jerks? This is a thing now? No, it's not. Annie was a perfect champion. Now she's like a 80% perfect champion.
Oh, look at that, Mickey going back early, actually. Picking up a fairy charm right there.
That's not bad, having a little more sustain, I suppose.
Still.
So we've got the reverse matchup this time between Ixu and Duke. Ooh, here comes Watch.
Watch just waiting right there, seeing he's basically just protecting Duke at the moment, making sure that there wasn't going to be anything. So nice deep ward right there, coming in to check out the Krug camp. So you can see Watch adapting to the Evelyn play already.
Right, yeah, you basically just need to ward by the camps so you see her take them.
And there's the TP coming in from Duke. So we'll have a very short window after going ahead and starting at that Wolf camp to try and take some form of advantage right here.
How does Cassiopeia's tail jewelry stay on? You'd think it just like it slide off as she slithers about.
You think it would prevent her from slithering, considering that it is contacting the ground
It'd
instead of her muscles.
Yeah, it'd create a lot of drag, wouldn't it? You know?
My snake aerodynamics are very important to me, so I'm a bit disappointed.
Snake-o-dynamics.
Oh, one last auto. Watch will take that one out, then immediately gets seen by the ward Lyra's placed. Just looking for opportunities right now, but he's not really going to find many, especially with OQ and Pure playing a very defensive game on the bottom side. Again, just looking to farm up in that little bit difficult lane, at least pre-6. That will turn around once OQ manages to get to those rockets and can answer some more of these long-range trades from Songyun.
Yeah, they're keeping up for now. CS pretty even across the board overall. And the siege certainly a bit better this time for Najin than last game.
Yeah, significantly better.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, it's going to be about just allowing Goong to farm right here. See, he went for the double Doran's Blade, so he is a little bit concerned with how this lane is going to go. Not going to have, or double Doran's Ring rather, not going to be having that early tier or taking any kind of risk whatsoever, respecting the all-in potential of that Ahri, especially with the Evelyn there.
I think that's a smart thing.
For backup, yeah. But
You
it
need to be careful.
will delay his scaling by a couple of minutes. And here we go. Lyra lurking around in the top side right here.
Yep, trying to come in from behind. Duke getting
Watch is
lured in a bit farther.
also at the Gromp right now, so he's going to play aggressively. Watch is going to be there for the counter gank.
Yeah, they've kind of missed their opportunity here. There's Watch.
They
I
saw
think they
Watch.
saw him come in, yeah. Yep, Lyra already backing away. So an attempt from Anarchy, but doesn't really result in anything.
Well, this is what you want, too. You want this Evelyn just to be sitting around in the lane. Now they're going.
Yeah, they're turning on to Ixu. Ixu turns on to Watch. Watch going very low. That was a mistake by Najin, I think. First blood goes to Lyra. Now Duke getting chased away, getting low himself. He'll have to probably back off for a little while now. Ooh, Watch. After getting MVP in game number 1, that was not the most spectacular ganking decision we've seen.
Watch does have a tendency, as we've noted in the past, to gank lanes without sufficient knowledge of where the enemy jungler is or without respecting it really at all. So, and he got caught there just a little bit in front of Duke, so Duke not able to put that damage down. Meanwhile, Ixu and Lyra immediately able to focus Watch down and take him out.
Duke's going to be able to sit around and get level 6 at least, get a little bit more farm. But a slow start for Watch.
Yeah, Watch probably should have flashed out of that immediately as soon as he saw Evelyn, but it's understandable that he may not know his limits right now up against this Eve, considering that I doubt he has played against it too much in recent memory.
Well, early on he would do decent damage, I suppose.
Here comes Lyra. Lyra's 6 now.
He is indeed. Yeah, Goon could be in a little bit of trouble. Dodges a charm. Oh, there's ult. They get the slow. Mickey comes in. Lyra with another kill. Here comes Watch, though, forcing the flash from Mickey. That's another kill for Anarchy now. They're really putting this Evelyn to good use so far.
And Watch just still not 6 right there. He was trying to clear out a pink ward on the side. And Goon got a little bit too far forward. Even though Mickey did miss that charm, Lyra was able to follow up with a flash and his ultimate to land enough crowd control to secure that kill. And Goon going for the tier, not having really a lot of those combat stats yet. Flower taking a little bit of damage during that trade. And now Anarchy coming out with pretty nice early game advantage off those 2 first kills.
Now, Watch is still not 6. I would feel like if he was, this would be a potentially good game. The fact that he's not, this gank not going to work out. He needs to do a bit more farming.
He needs to just go get 6 right now. He's wasting a lot of time. He's trying to help his lanes in terms of their vision and pressure, but he needs to be a little bit selfish right now. Get that 6 so he can actually make a difference in some of these lane engagements.
Yep.
She should get off that camp, so.
Will he? No, it doesn't look
wow,
like he quite got it.
His 6 is really late this game.
Yeah.
He's have to walk all the way across the jungle.
A big edge for Lyra and the rest of Anarchy for the moment anyway right now.
Yeah, it looks like there will be the Warrior enchantment coming in for Lyra, so really looking to snowball off these lanes, get that damage down.
Handing off that blue buff to Mickey. And Goon will take one as well. So aside from the early ganks from Naja not going too well, been pretty passive so far this game.
They just need to play damage control right now. Make sure that they get this Corki in a good place in the next 5 minutes. Play a little bit more reserve with this Cassiopeia in the mid lane. The advantage that Anarchy has will fall away, especially with this Warrior enchant build. I mean, there's just not going to be enough damage on Anarchy to take out the big tank line of Gnar, Gragas, and Alistar, all of whom have a lot of damage reduction on them as well.
Well, that's the worry, right? If you're Anarchy, you need to get a lot done early. They've got 2 kills so far, but they need more. Action in the top lane.
Is it action?
Tanks fighting each other.
Slapping each other.
Yep.
To 0 effect.
It is action. It's not exciting action, but it's action. Lyra lurking in the jungle for now. Oh, and Goon looking for maybe an opportunity here onto Mickey, but not quite finding it.
Yeah, he forced Mickey's Spirit Rush right there, though. A pretty nice win.
That is nice.
Going to go ahead and find Lyra up here, or not quite, just as he's going to reach that Gromp. We'll see. It has been counter-jungled.
I gotta say, Anarchy's warding has been pretty good for an amateur team. Really,
especially last game, too. They were dropping a lot of wards around the objective. Anarchy's problem, though, when I've watched them play, especially in the qualifiers, is not that they don't have wards. It's that they ignore the information given to them by their wards. They will see someone on a certain side of the map and still try and make an all-in play.
It's kind of like the IM syndrome, right? To have a bunch of wards and then just not really use it.
You want to spend the money on wards, got to make sure that you actually respect the information that they give you.
Yep, got to look at the mini-map. Oh, Pure could be in a bit of trouble here. They're trying to collapse on him, but he barely gets away.
Just intelligently backing off right there. He doesn't know where Evelyn is, so you go ahead and see that Annie returning to lane. Want to respect that just a little bit. Don't go for the easy trade when that kill pressure from the Eve is there.
Well, meanwhile, OQ and Pure have been able to push this lane back a little bit. CS has remained even. Well, Duke versus Ixu. Oh, they're getting low. Oh boy, Duke low as well. Oh, this could get interesting actually here. Ixu really low. That's a solo kill for Duke. He flashed at the end. He tried to flash into the brush to avoid getting autoed and then come out to finish
here.
him off.
There's the Spirit Rush, and Duke is going to go down to the Foxfire.
That was easy.
And he flashed right there. He's trying to buy time, but Najin just going to turn around to that cross-map objective, take the Dragon. So pretty big net win right there for Najin. Good reaction. Go ahead, burn the Dragon down with the Cassiopeia.
Good response to just go and take that objective. That's been kind of Najin's saving grace this match, is that they have had good Dragon control. In game one, at least.
Well, they haven't given up a Dragon yet. They've taken every single Dragon in this best of 3 so far tonight.
That's right. Oh, Lear's going to find a pink ward. And it looks like Watch is going to go back for now. We'll have to see what he buys. Just some wards. A couple pops. Sanyu getting poked pretty hard by these rockets from OQ now.
Yeah, still taking a nice CS advantage, although that is what we would expect during this situation. Has yet to return to finish off that Abyssal Scepter. That's going to be a pretty core item. Mickey actually going for the Death Cap first. That is a huge buy.
Yeah, that is brave too, man.
At 12 minutes into this game.
Getting that gold. Oh, here comes Lyra from the top side. Goon needs to be careful. His turret's really low, but he's playing it a bit safer. Wow. The thing is
Goon's been dodging those charms so well.
Yeah. And he's still
there
able
goes
to do
his
a lot of
turret.
damage.
Ooh. A lot of damage though, so Mickey really putting the screws to Goon so far this game. Has that assist from the mid lane gank and then got that kill on the top side, so great CS as well, and that's going to lead him to this really early death cap, so he's in a very good situation compared to Goon right now, who's still desperately trying to scale up, still doesn't have a completed first item. That Abyssal Scepter, then he needs to deal with some of this damage. So Ahri's roaming potential pretty huge right now. Anarchy actually getting a very early mid turret. And that's going to open up the map for Mickey right now. And combined with the presence of this invisible Evelyn, there's a lot of kill pressure on Najin. They've got to be very scared.
Yeah, we'll see if Goon can bait Mickey into a gank here in the mid lane. Doesn't look like Pure and Watch are going to go for it. Yeah, Mickey just playing too safe. There's Snowflower anyway, so.
Well, they want to try and abuse this blue buff right when it comes up, so make their moves over there. Lyra will get his Raptor buff pop, but there's too many wards for him to clear them all out at the given time. Mickey's waiting in that brush.
Oh, nice dodge on the charm there.
And he is actually going to get the blue when all is said and done. Duke taking a lot of pot shots up at this top side turret.
Yeah, once again, able to push Ixu way back and just probably take that turret at some point. He's been winning the 1v1s pretty hard, but that's what Duke does.
Yeah, Watch actually joining the lane right here, right as OQ comes back with that Trinity Force. They really want to get the turrets down while they're going to have an easy time doing so. Recall coming in for Sangyun. Not quite finishing up that Infinity Edge yet, and so.
Oh, here we go, dodges charm. There's the ultimate onto Mickey, but no follow-up onto Goon. There's a lot of minions there too, so Goon can't really stick around and fight that. Mickey just using the Spirit Rush to add on more damage and do a bit more to the turret.
They're going to walk up, but Mickey getting that early death cup has been absolutely huge in this matchup.
It seems like it's smart too when you know your opponent's going to take a while to scale. You just go for a big chunk of damage right away and just try to snowball that lane even more.
Yeah,
so far so good.
Yeah, working out very well for him.
Najin was able to get the turret down in bot lane, so they did tie that up at least.
Now they're going to be able to transition really well as well. Corki can go into the top side. Right now, you may think about sending Cassiopeia into bottom to catch that wave once it's reversed by this Lucian.
That's right. Ixu burning Righteous Glory there. It's kind of funny. Very early Righteous Glory for Ixu as well too. Very fast.
Yeah, again, same item build method that we saw of Duke in the last game, just trying to have that big ability to make picks in the mid game here. And it's like Corki's going back into bottom. More useful into having him in a lane where there actually is a turret left standing, however.
Maybe they'll rotate him into mid too. We'll see. So far, Najin just trying to get the vision back around their jungle, but look at all the warding again. I'm actually like really impressed by the warding from Anarchy.
Yeah, great defensive wards right there, making sure that the bottom lane will be safe to farm for Lucian. They have the pink ward coverage to make sure that...
Well, Goon all in by Mickey. There's the ultimate, freezing him up for a second. Pure comes in along with Lyra. Goon getting very, very low. Backs away just in time. There's a knockup onto Mickey. Nice ult from Gragas. Will they take him down? Getting so low. Mickey finally taken out by Duke, who teleports in. Pure on the run as well. Oh, a kill for Lyra. He's going to get a double coming in, but he's going to get taken out, pushed into turret. And there's one now. Whoa, lived for a long time, actually. Duke getting low now, so the chains of kills continue. Tibbers comes in, and will it be enough? Not quite. Ixu chasing. He dives for the kill, the twisted advance under turret. Wow, Anarchy pretty brave here, ending up going 2 for 3 and the mid lane tier 2.
Well, Watch was already out of the fight. They knew that OQ was actually in the bottom lane right there, so
yeah.
Pretty easy dive and easy decision for Ixu to make, but great follow-up and follow through there from Anarchy. Check this one out, how this started. Mickey trying to go aggressive onto Goon. Goon popping his ultimate right there, catching him with the stun. Pure missing his combo pretty crucially. Watch comes in with the flash, and they try and finish off Mickey. Eventually they'll get it, but Duke already halfway through his Meganar by the time this fight starts. And you have to respect Lyra. He has the ability to speed up with his W, and he's got that warrior enchant, so he's actually doing a hell of a lot of damage this early on into the game. So picking up that double as we do see his flash not totally respected there by Goon.
He's 4-1-1 so far, so a really good early game for Anarchy on the jungle side of things. Dragon up now. We'll see if they can take their first dragon of the match.
And just really needs to poke this out right here with the Corki. Get that damage in.
Yep, that's right.
Duke's on the verge of turning into Megadar, but no ultimate for him available this time around. Still no Tibbers up as well for Snowflower.
He's doing a good job of delaying for as long as possible. And Najin having to pull back and clear out the waves, but Dragon's still available.
They really need to get some damage down onto this turret.
Yep. Oh, there's a turret kill.
For Anarchy.
Yep. And Najin, oh, there's the engaged Mixu going in onto Pure. Pure taking some damage. Watch, looking for a chance to make something happen with his ult. Doesn't quite find it though. Mickey on the outsides of the fight, just poking as much as he possibly can. A little bit of damage on the Goon. Gets a stun, nice Meganar ult. Actually, Mickey in big trouble now. Goon managed to pick up the kill. Najin, low health, but trying to disengage. OQ backs away, getting chased by Lyra. Anarchy is going to call off the fight as well too. Oh, may not be just done yet. Ixu, one more rocket might do it. That mid turret might be in a bit of trouble. We'll see if they go for Dragon instead. Looks like that's what the plan's going to be. Ultimates blown across the board for both teams.
Yeah, Najin engaged that fight really well, though. And the thing that was so crucial to their engagement is that we saw Duke actually use his Gnar ultimate to scoop people directly into Goon's ult for a massive stun. So the setup there was actually very well coordinated. And so they were able to get that big initial chunk of damage off. They couldn't quite finish off everyone on Anarchy, but they were able to get them low enough to force the recall, to force them to rethink about that engagement, and to get away with the Dragon without losing hardly anything.
So Corki's got his Trinity Force now.
Yeah, he's had it for a few minutes, going for the last Whisper next.
Yeah, Sork Shoes finished as well, too, in that last buy.
Interesting pickup for him.
Thistle done for Gung as well as a few components towards that Archangel staff. So can Najin start trying to put some sort of sieging pressure on right now? First, it's a fight over the red buff.
Not a fight that will be won right there by Anarchy, but at least they keep it off Corki, instead forcing Watch to take that red buff in the end.
He actually didn't even smite that.
Yeah, I think he just body slammed it.
Yeah.
Corki backing off. So Mickey is going to start to try and split push right here. He's pretty darn strong at this point in time.
Yep. Not a lot that Corki Alisar can do against that. And Ixu just trying to save his top turret. A lot of turrets pretty low across the board right now, but Anarchy already with all of those, or rather, 2 out of the 3 outer turrets down and the tier 2 in mid.
Yeah, they
certainly got the map control advantage right now.
Yeah, that's not a great sign for Najin. They need to use this Corki right now while he's strong. Get him out of the lanes with a lot of wave clear. But Anarchy, to their credit, is making sure that those turrets remain upright and putting Ahri in the long lane where Ahri has a lot of dashes and mobility to get out, even with minimal warding. Means that they can focus on keeping Lucian close to a tier 1 and repeatedly clearing out waves to prevent Najin from actually picking up any kind of gold advantage right now.
Yeah. And keep in mind, Anarchy was a team in the promotional tournament that got crushed by Incredible Miracle. So what does that say about this match right here?
Well, I actually am really excited about seeing Incredible Miracle. I think
their new roster looks good.
Their new roster does, at least on paper, look quite good. And even though we can't draw too many conclusions out of the qualifiers, they certainly put on a display of dominance during those matches this past weekend.
Yeah, very, very exciting changes on the IM side of things.
I can't believe that those are words that I agree with, but yes.
Hey, well, we've already had to deal with things like Space is one of the best ADCs in Korea. GBM is one of the best mids, so we've had some interesting stuff happening so far already. 2015 has been interesting.
That's been quite fascinating so far. This big lead from Lyra is putting a band-aid over his choice of a warrior enchantment because he's got so much extra gold and he has been able to get the tankiness he needs as well. Of course, already completing that lock and having the Giant's Belt as well. But in terms of 6 items, this Gragas is just going to be so much more effective.
Yeah, he's going to be much more tanky, able to get back in there and continuously disrupt the fight, whereas Evelyn, you know, you ult and then you just kind of run around trying to hate spike people, and that's about it.
Yeah, it's pretty pathetic way to team fight in the late game if you don't have very much damage, which of course current Evelyn certainly does not.
Yeah, I mean that's why it's so ult reliant. If you don't get a really good ult, then you're not too useful for that team fight.
Unfortunately, they have some good setups for the follow-up on the ultimate. Getting that Tibbers can lock people in place long enough to really get the good Eve-ult in there, but...
Yep. Well, Najin seems to have stabilized a little bit. It was a kind of a hairy first 15, 20 minutes or so. Oh, but here's a gank onto OQ. There's the ult from Lyra. Looks like they're going to be able to get it. OQ turning, but it's too late. Nice gank, and that's going to get Anarchy probably another turret too, unless Watch can defend it.
No, they've got enough defense right there. Duke actually went ahead and is trying to go all in onto Ixu up here on the top side. He's about to hit that Mega Gnar. Ixu will back off. But Najin actually coming out the better in that trade, trading a kill for a tower in the end. Yeah, and everyone from Najin going there to quickly clear out the minion wave.
Dragon's up in about a minute, so everything should be back up by the time there's a fight. Oh, teleport coming down. They're jumping onto Goong. Goong getting trapped under his own turret, getting a big ult. Mickey getting very low. Oh, Goong manages to get the kill out of that. Wow, that was impressive. Watch over there onto Snowflower. if Anarchy can win this one, they'll take this dragon, but Najin doing their best to stop that. Lyra coming in from behind, Duke getting very low, and here we go. Pierre coming over the wall with a big knockup. Songyun, though, doing a lot of damage. Where is OQ? He's back now, finally, and Songyun in a lot of trouble. Goes down. That's a kill for OQ and Snowflower. Oh, the rocket missed. There's a stun, though, onto Ixu, and meanwhile, Lyra has to flash, getting chased down by Watch. And Najin right now, ooh, wow. That body slam, that was a bit of an odd interaction. They're going to try to take out Ixu, but the big win here is that Najin should be able to get Dragon out of this. Ixu coming back in, trying to get a kill on the Duke, can't quite do it. Another kill for OQ.
And Alistar actually hunting around the jungle right now, looking for Snowflower, not going to be quite so bold as to walk in between those turrets and pursue that kill. Instead, just making sure everybody is adequately chased off, delaying a couple of recalls right there for the free Dragon. That's why you can't make some of these aggressive plays all the time. Yes, they see that OQ had just about respawned, and therefore it was going to be an advantageous situation potentially, as they could only see Goong sitting by himself under that turret, but everyone else from Najin able to collapse so very quickly after that kill onto Goong, and Goong playing out again, hitting another good ult on the Spirit Rush.
That ult was incredible, actually. I think he got like a 4-man ult and killed Mickey because of it. Yeah,
Goong's been doing a really good job with his Cassiopeia ults this game in a challenging matchup where Mickey did get that early advantage. Every time the Spirit Rush comes in, he's actually been able to land that stun pretty effectively. So,
yeah, well, just to turn a 4v1 into a kill, that's pretty good stuff.
Well, the rest of the team was there to back him up right away, so you really do need full vision if you want to create some sort of all-in situation along that vein. And looks like their Goong will be going for a Rylai's as his next item.
Makes sense. Blue buffs for both OQ and Goong right now, too, which is pretty nice for any sort of siege they decide to try.
Yeah, I like the Rylai's build right here. He's been having a bit of trouble surviving that burst damage, but really, as long as he can continue kiting this Ahri, that's what's going to win him a lot of these engagements, because it's Ahri's job to go back and kill Goong.
Yeah.
So if he can't burst Goong down, then Goong over the course of the team fight will be able to kite better, will be able to get substantially more damage down over time. So taking a few rockets right there as Anarchy tries to get some presence around the Baron pit and at least threaten that. They do have excellent pick potential with this composition, so getting that vision control and making their enemies question whether that Baron is going down is pretty crucial.
Yeah. I don't think Najin is too worried about the Baron at this point, though. They've got, it's kind of their game to lose. Despite being down 3k gold right now, Najin really looks in control of this game, you know?
Well, they are. I mean, they have all the dragons on their side. They're slowly catching back up in terms of turrets, and they have this excellent scaling with this composition.
Well, it's one of those games where the gold lead doesn't really, you know, speak to the power of dragons that one of the teams has.
Yeah, and the power of Cassiopeia.
Oh, Cassiopeia, yeah, that too. Yep.
That's what I was thinking, but.
Right. Of course. Well, Goong could certainly use a chance to go back and buy here. And looks like he's going to take it soon, maybe. And you notice a few less wards on the Najin side of the map now as well, too. They're starting to be able to clean some of those out, and Anarchy is having a harder time getting in them and placing them.
Yeah, Evelyn moving towards just that purely tanky build right now, going for that tad bit of early offense, but then really prioritize this red. A nice chunk from Mickey. Bit dangerous right there, though.
Yeah, it looks like they didn't know Watch and Kuma right there.
In the end, they take down two members of 50% HP. Duke is unable to hold on to the turret with his giant minion wave developing. They're very scared after that chunk that Anarchy is just going to straight rush onto this Baron. Watch and Pure need some time to heal back up from the Alistar heal and from the Gragas passive, so not going to go back, but do have to be a little bit cautious.
Now, how fast can Anarchy take that Baron, though? Doesn't seem to be too quick, yeah. So the threat isn't too great at the moment, but not having vision is certainly a little bit worrisome. Now that ward, I believe, does show Anarchy when they move in and out of that brush. Yep, they definitely see it. There we go. Lyra finds it.
It's very patient play from Najin.
Pretty much.
Duke finally going to walk down into the bottom side and clear out this very large minion wave. Kill that gold for himself, but that's going to trigger Anarchy to go. Now TP is up. Duke's about to hit Megadar. This is a really dangerous Baron.
Oh man, and Najin though, they don't know this is happening. I think they can suspect, but they don't know. That Baron though is not going down quickly. Oh, now they're aware. Are they going to be able to do anything about this? Mickey coming in. The Baron does go to Anarchy. Can Najin fight this teleport coming in? Where's the Megadar? Oh, it got canceled. He canceled his teleport.
Yeah, it has to be canceled right there. When he started the port, he was already about 50% of the way through Meganar, so just a late reaction there from Najin, and Anarchy actually sneaking that Baron out.
That was one of those that's so Najin moments, wasn't it?
Well, they did it with 3 people very slowly over time, and Snowflower and Mickey were doing a very good job of just going ahead and zoning that.
Yeah.
Well, Anarchy snuck it out. Anarchy definitely playing I thought they would tonight coming in.
They're looking better than Samsung did pretty much all of last season already.
It's true.
Yeah, not an exaggeration.
But again, this is a team that did come in with some veterans in Lyra and Mickey, and even Ixu actually having some time in the KT house training with that organization. So it's not like we have a bunch of rookies right here.
Right. They've got the turret lead, they've got the gold lead. The only thing that they just can't seem to do is take those dragons away from Najin.
Yeah, well, looks like they're going to get the next one, though. Not really a great way for Najin to contest this with 20 seconds.
And no teleport.
Left on the clock. No TP available for the next couple of minutes. And just Najin needing to defend their turrets. And we'll see if Anarchy even goes for it. Right now, they've got some good minion wave pressure. And so they may just opt to chip down these towers as much as possible. And there's a missed ult.
Misses his ult. Whoops.
Still going to be able to hold for the time being, though.
So ult for ult, but with Dragon up right now, feel a bit more useful. But yeah, with that Baron buff, Anarchy wants to put all the pressure onto objectives that they can. Lyra sneaking around the side. That cannon minion finally going down. Yep, starting to split push with that Ahri as well, too. There's not really too many that can handle it. Goon is going to try.
Yeah, he has to back off right now, though. Goon can walk forward without that Spirit Rush available.
Yeah.
And there we go. Watch.
Watch.
Flashing
onto
for
Snowflower. Snowflower uses his stun, and he may go down flashing into the red buff pit. And they're going to keep chasing him. It's going to be a kill. Oh! Pure knocks him away. It's still a kill, though.
Yeah, Pure tags him with the Ignite, so is able to finish that one off.
There's a big elephant up, but no follow-up here. While Mickey trying to make one, OQ manages to get away by burning his flash. Now they're going to turn into it, trying to get the stuns on, but they're pushing Anarchy away from Dragon, taking a lot of damage in the process, though. Goon's starting to pile the damage, though, onto Songyu. Needs to be careful he doesn't get too far up, though. And Mickey, there we go. They catch him with the CC, and OQ with a kill. Now Ixu pushed back under his mid lane turret, and Najin, they can keep chasing it. That's another kill onto the top laner. He'll twist it, advance back in, trying to lock up Duke under that tier 2, but it's not enough. So a mid lane turret, and that Dragon could go to Najin as well. Looks like they want to try to take another one. They've got a minion wave. They've got Duke tanking, and again, Lyra just not doing any damage, of course, on this Evelynn. Songhyun just throwing in some poke, and Najin gonna back off. So I suppose the Dragon already was down. Getting 2 turrets out of that team fight, though, for Najin, and that was kind of the moment that they needed to sort of stay back into this game.
Well, Snowflower, as good as he was at zoning out in that last one, he was way too far forward here while the Dragon was being taken.
Yeah.
And he had some decent wards, but I think a little close face checking it, and he is punished. And Najin really going all in on this as well. Anarchy very much separated by that Dragon Wall when it started. Forced Songyun's flash early on, as well as Lyra's ultimate. Pretty not ideal situation. And Mickey can't do much with the Spirit Rush either. Najin staying clustered to prevent the assassination from Ahri coming in. And then Goon able to get forward right here. And look at Mickey as well. They know his charm is down, so OQ pretty much free just to Valk right in his face.
Well, they knew Spirit Rush was down as well at that point, too, so the ability is not there. Whoa, a 1v1 though. Oh, and Lyra comes in and helps Mickey out with that kill, so OQ a bit out of position. And that's going to cost Najin. May cost him an inhibitor turret here. Teleport coming in for Duke. He has to burn it just to get back to defend. That is really unfortunate for Najin after winning that team fight.
Yeah, but they know that they can continue to win team fights like that as long as this game continues to drag out.
True.
OQ still pretty low damage, however. Got the Bloodthirster. Probably needs to start thinking about a QSS with the Annie and the Ahri on the other team because he's having some troubles in these little skirmishes staying alive.
You know, it seems like the Korean ADCs have been following the rule where they look at the other team and they're like, not much CC, better build a fast QSS. Tons of CC, I don't think I need it.
Has been the story of the last couple games, that's for sure. Luden's Echo now done onto Ahri. That's a pretty big purchase because of Ahri's speed. Bit surprised we didn't see that earlier. Of course, Mickey did opt to go for the Death Cap first instead of the Echo, which is generally a more common build on Ahri these days, considering she does refresh those procs pretty quickly with her movement and constant spell spam. So,
of course, yeah.
Mickey, pretty scary. Mickey's been playing well even from behind over the course of this series, showing that he is someone to be taken seriously here. Goon completing his Rylai's, of course. Now finally looking like he wants to build his first needlessly large rod item of the game.
Yep. So the damage will start to pile up for Cassiopeia, and she already does a lot anyway. So as we get close to the late game, taking out Goong is going to have to be a main priority for Anarchy.
Indeed it will. Well, Najin really wants control over this next Baron. They have the wards in their own jungle to back them up so far. Anarchy, not really with too many wards to lay down right here. As we hit the 30-second mark, they don't really have a great way. Ooh, close.
Yep. Watch not too worried about those saplings. Baron up in 20, Dragon up in 1:30, so the objectives are going to be what the fight is all about. Now, Anarchy managed to sneak the last one, but Najin seems to be much better prepared for just objective control in general at this point.
There they go, walking back now.
Yep, getting some vision around the Baron pit maybe.
Yeah, no lenses though to keep on clearing in this situation, but they can do this Baron really fast.
They're gonna try. Lyra showed up in top lane, so they know he's a little bit out of position. He's gonna come from the side though. Uh-oh, this could be a big flank for Anarchy. Mickey coming from the side, calling everything used. Lyra on his own a little bit, but Pure already pretty low. Duke with a nice big Gnarl. Does that give Najin the time they need? Mickey's still untouched, coming in doing more damage. OQ still with plenty of health left as well, but he can't do a lot of sustain stuff. Goong getting very low, taken out by Songyun. Now there goes Pure, and Najin on the run in a lot of trouble. Lyra coming in from behind. Now they're going to trap OQ. OQ manages to pick up one kill at least. Snowflower went down as well too, but I think that's going to be a dead ADC pretty soon. All Ixu needs to do is play safe. OQ really with the moves here. Man, look at that.
Yeah, still got to be worried. There's the flash from Songyun.
Songyun, can he take him out? Duke trying to save, gets that slow with the boomerang. Nice skill shot usage by the Najin players, and OQ and Duke get away, but they may still end up giving up this Baron.
Well, Ixu's able just to teleport right back to the Baron if he wants to, and all the damage is still there for Anarchy. Meanwhile, no TP up for Duke right now, so it looks like it will be a free Baron for Anarchy after Najin tries to bait that, and it pretty much falls flat on its face. Mickey did a really good job of zoning out the back line, though, from the ramp.
No kidding.
That was he was actually strangely on the Najin side of the map right there when that setup occurred, so I don't think they expected him to have that kind of presence, but Mickey has been quite good so far in this game, especially in these team fighting situations.
Yeah.
Dragon is live. Crab is going to be taken by Anarchy. The question is, will Najin want to contest this Dragon when there's a Baroned up team on the other side, or are they just going to use this time to push out the waves to ride out the Baron buff one more time?
I think that's probably a better idea than trying to fight this at this point. I mean, Goong did pick up his death cap, but he's still very fragile, so I say let him have this one and just make sure that you make it tougher for them to use that Baron buff.
Yeah, I think that's what you do too. Even though Ixu is getting some free time to push, at least in the bottom side. Watch trying to set up the blue buff right now for Goong's Cassiopeia, who currently has Looks like about, I think it says 977. Our monitor is very small.
Okay.
But that's what you would expect for a late game Cassiopeia right here, with her really starting to stack up.
Indeed.
Huge amounts of damage. As long as they can protect Goong, they should still be good to go in some of these team fights.
Well, that's the hard part, right? You know, if you get flanked like they did in that last fighter on Baron, you're just not going to protect anyone. Look at this damage coming in. Up, Charm over the wall. They get that onto watch. Lyra comes in. A little bit of damage. They take out the turret. Culling activated. Lyra low, but there's a kill onto Goong already. They managed to catch him in Anarchy, despite that big Gnar ult is just fine here. Gragas ult used. Double kill now for SIEU. Gets in the backlines onto OQ, forcing him out of the fight. And with Goong out of the way, there's just no damage for Najin. You can't win team fights like that. And Anarchy taking another one. They're going to push for the win right now, it looks like, with that Baron buff. OQ with some poke.
Well, OQ did get an Infinity Edge right here, so his auto attacks are doing a little bit more damage, but they've got to wait for a long time. And Anarchy's low, but it looks like they're actually going to be able to finish. 3 empowered cannon minions coming in.
I think they are. The Nexus is still vulnerable. Pure comes in for the big engage, gets taken down immediately. More kills for Songyun, and look at this. Anarchy takes out Najin, forcing the game. 1 week off. It's time to put on that jersey again. Start playing some League of Legends. They have like a commercial right now where Faker's out like walking through the forest in regular clothes, like sniffing flowers and things like that. Then he feels something under his foot, and he looks down, and it's an R key from a keyboard. I'm not even making this up.
Nope.
And he picks it up, and when he stands up, he's in his SKT jersey again. Yep. And actually, the commercials for champions here in Korea, their tagline is "No rest." I'm like, yeah, that's my tagline this week too, OGN. Way to go.
So the thing about this LeBlanc Zed matchup is, and when I say it's a skill matchup, it is, but it really delays LeBlanc's build, because the problem with this matchup from the LeBlanc side is that you pretty much have to build Arm Guard unless you have Balls of Steel. Building that Arm Guard as a first item delays LeBlanc's ability to actually blow somebody up very effectively.
Yep.
Meanwhile, Zed just builds the same as Zed always builds, and therefore has a larger window of time to split push in the mid game with less fear. So it's a really, because of item build paths, it ends up being pretty weird. But at least in terms of power spikes, it does favor Zed. But in the early game and in terms of just the 1v1, it's pretty...
Hey, it's your favorite Sejuani skin, at least.
Oh, I got that going for me.
And it's Watch, one of your favorite junglers, I know. I know you, Monty. You love you some Watch.
I especially like his Lee Sin play.
A little bit of harassment for Pure coming in.
Yeah, that's
steal. Oh, he didn't get one of them, but he will harass.
It's a lot of damage onto the jungler early, though.
SIEU. Pure may have overdone this. Yeah, Pure is in a lot of trouble. There's a flash. They can chase him. AD carry coming up to help out. There's OQ.
So Pure actually living through that one, and 2 flashes used for 1. They're also taking a lot of damage, and that allows Goong to freely attack Mickey in the mid lane. Some pretty nice trades down there without fear of the enemy jungler. So Pure took a lot of damage, but we'll see how much this actually delays Lyra's pathing. He's already out of potions here. Looking for that level 2 gank.
Yeah, he's only got 3 CS. Kind of tough. So Zed's shurikens are kind of like Thor's hammer in that you throw them and they just kind of come back, you know? But you probably can't pick up Zed's shurikens unless you're like pure evil or something, you know?
Is that how it works? They just stick to the ground stubbornly?
That's right. Only people like Joffrey from Game of Thrones can use Zed's shurikens.
I picked up a Zed Shuriken once.
Did you? I wouldn't be surprised. You're like... And then you held...
That's why I didn't know, because I've always been able to pick him up.
You held Thor's hammer in the other hand, and then you're like, I am one with the universe. As your fancy tie billowed
majestically in the wind.
Like a superhero's cape. That's right. It was an interesting offseason, wasn't it? Yeah. Some crazy stuff happened you guys wouldn't believe.
It was a very short off-season.
That's right. Was there an off-season? I think there was. Oh, that's
Watch.
Flash from Watch. He's going in on Ixu. OQ coming in. If they can give him this first kill, Watch. Oh, that's first blood going to OQ. Pretty nice. Using that summoner heal to keep his top laner alive, to keep his jungler alive. Meanwhile, action in the mid lane. Mickey!
The last tick of that ignite. So Mickey sees Watch and immediately takes advantage of that opportunity using both summoners. Goong is going to be able to return that, though, considering that he still has the ignite.
Yeah. Epic
And
Mickey.
Mickey, some good stuff. His return to Korea here.
Yeah. Well, pretty volatile game so far, but dead even.
That was a very unexpected gank from Watch, by the way. That is not a normal gank that you would make in this situation. Considering Najin decided to send their support up to meet the enemy in a 2v2. Also unusual that Anarchy would keep Snowflower up in the top side so long instead of swapping him back down. But you don't expect to be zoned off the tower like that in a 2v1 in the bottom side on Maokai. So tricky little gank right there. OQ does use his summoner heal to make that play. And it proves pretty darn effective. So a little bit odd things happening so far in this game.
Oh, more fights. The chains do not connect.
Yeah, Mickey actually going for the Hex Drinker first right here, so that's going to make it harder for Goong to answer, even with that Ignite up.
It looks like Goong is going for the arm guards too, but taking him a while to get there. Mickey having a big edge there. Wow, already putting a real good amount of damage onto this LeBlanc.
Yeah, this is why I was a little skeptical about picking this LeBlanc. I mean, if you just think about Najin's strategy going here, this doesn't really make sense. They spent 2 games banning the Zed because they're obviously very concerned with Mickey's Zed.
Oh, Goong in a little bit of trouble. There's the death mark as well. Can he finish him off? He's chasing the wrong one, taking some turret hits. Oh no, he was chasing the right one. Wow, I'm faked out. Mickey wasn't for a moment.
Wow, Mickey barely escaping from that as well, getting yet another kill. Just all inning right at 6 with that very slight experience advantage that he had.
And now he's just beating Goong in his own game.
Yeah.
You know, this is Goong on what he's supposedly best at.
So you really have to question the picks and bans here.
Yeah.
So Najin has last pick on the red side. They spend 2 games banning the Zed, and then obviously very worried about Mickey's Zed in any circumstances, whether they have last pick or not. Right? They banned it on red side in game 1, but then they give him the Zed, and when they have this opportunity to counterpick it, they decide to play into a high skill matchup.
Yeah.
I don't know what's going on with Najin.
I mean, you've got Goong trying to fight this Hex Drinker Zed too, when he only has an ability tome and cloth armor. So
And not level 6?
Yeah.
Well, he did get all in right there, so it wasn't entirely his fault, and he thought he was going to be safe with the Ignite still up, but fortunately couldn't make it work, dodged outside of his turret right there, and now he has to play extremely defensively, taking a really big hit in terms of his farm.
Yeah, down by 20 already, and it's probably not going to get much better anytime soon. And so the fact that this is going on really makes you wonder then if Najin's going to be capable of having that dragon control that they've had in some of the other games.
Well, fortunately for them, Anarchy's scaling with this composition with Jarvan, Zed, and Corki is pretty bad. Anarchy has to win really hard in this mid game, and in spite of those 2 kills, we're only looking at, well, I mean, pretty much 100 gold advantage overall for Anarchy, and we see that OQ picking up that kill as well. With that first blood, we'll be able to power up and hopefully wave clear his team out of the mid game. As long as Najin can wave clear well enough in the mid game and not lose too many turrets, they should have a pretty easy time come late.
Sure enough. See what they can do, though. I mean, that early lead already growing for Anarchy. Forces of chaos. Like, they really just need to, when it comes to the team uniforms, like, I think pretty clearly, in my mind, OGN just gave them some shirts today when they came in. That's my theory on it. But they just need to wear whatever they want to wear, man.
Well, they either need to look like badass punk rockers, or they need to have, like, Dome Fossil
Yeah.
on their shirt.
Exactly. exactly. They're not any weak servants of the Helix. Don't fossil all the way, right? For Team Anarchy.
I actually may have gotten that reversed.
I think
I don't remember.
Helix was.
Twitch plays Pokemon.
It's been a while. It's been a while since Twitch plays Pokemon, but I want to say Helix was, the good guys, right? Yeah.
You know what though?
Order.
If they're going to name themselves Anarchy, and they don't have a coach, they really just need to surrender to Twitch chat for their pick ban phase.
That's true. They need to start a Reddit thread. Oh boy, they're gonna catch Lyra, who's gonna get back over the wall. Watch flashing for that kill though. Gotta burn that flash sometimes. But yeah, they should just start a Reddit thread after every game and be like, what do you think we could do better, community?
No, I think they should just have the Twitch chat up during pick and ban.
Oh, yeah.
And then whatever champions gets spammed the most during their pick and ban, that's who they have to lock in during that phase.
I don't think there's any champions named Hot Grill, though, so I don't know how they're going to decide. It's going to be tough to choose. And PogChamp doesn't actually refer to a champ in League of Legends, so I just don't think your plan's going to work, man. I'm sorry. It was a nice idea, but... SM Morg, that's not even the right company. Kappa. Well, it's been an action-packed game so far, but Anarchy, the tiniest bit behind in gold, and the kills have been evened up now by Najin too, so.
Well, the big thing is this 2-0-0 Zed. This Zed really needs to get a pretty big edge through the split push, and no one's really going to be able to stop him for quite some time. But they've got to get this Zed.
Oh, here we go. Deathmark used. Mickey tries to go back under turret. Wow, that's a long turret hit.
Well, Goong actually did the right thing right there. Popped right back under the turret during Deathmark, so there wasn't that much of a kill threat. Duke is just going to toss everyone back like they're, not a
small things.
Hugely successful gank for Lyra, who has decided to go for Cinder Hold. Watch
there we go.
Solo the Dragon, of course, they have the pressure on the bottom side, and Zed has recalled, so easy Dragon on the opposite side of the map for Najin.
That's kind of a relief, too, for Najin to be able to claim that one.
Yes, hugely. So,
yeah.
I mean, basically right now, because Anarchy is back in a 2v2 situation, yes, they have the Sheen, yes, they have the level 6 Corki, so they're not as susceptible to the bullying from OQ's Lucian. They're still getting pushed in a little bit, and they have to wait for that Trinity Force, swap Corki to the mid lane, put Zed in bottom or top, and then really try and let him take over. If they can get Zed into the 1v1 with Duke, that would be ideal, because Duke is itemizing for magic resist right there, and so will be vulnerable to Mickey's Zed. That's their specific condition for winning, because if they don't do that and they don't get turrets down and continue to snowball some kills, they just probably are not going to be competitive late.
Right. Against
the composition that Najin is running. They simply will not have enough damage to deal with Najin's tank line.
Very true.
So they're actually grouping really early right here. They're grouping pre-Trinity Force as they put Zed down there.
Well, they've got the Sheen onto Corki, so they can do a decent amount of damage to turrets.
Yeah, that's a surprising lane swap, though, and I don't think it was one that Najin was necessarily anticipating. We can see that in response, OQ is going into the mid lane just to stave off Corki and deal with some of that wave clear. Goong in the bottom side right now, just trying to play it safe, farm with the distortion under turret so that he isn't going to have too many chances.
Yep. I feel like you could do a corporate Zed skin and just call it like Ted or something. It's just an average guy in a polo shirt and slacks, throws paper clips or something.
Giving talks.
Yeah, that's right. I see what you did there.
All right. Well, I am surprised they didn't try and get this Zed into the Gnar lane, but still getting a tiny amount of damage onto that turret. Watch is going to wait there, see if he can find an angle. Mickey does hit level 11, level 2 in Deathmark. Watch waiting under the tower. They're trying to protect against that all in, but Goong is 2 levels down.
Wow. Oh, Lancer didn't stop the recall.
And this Corki still struggling right here. Going ahead and taking the Raptors instead of actually being able to clear out much in the way of this mid wave.
Yeah, so despite that early lead for Zed, the rest of the team is not doing quite as well.
Yeah, but getting the early lead on Zed is about the best thing you could ask for if you're Anarchy, because you can see that that tower is going down slowly, and there's really no answer to it. From the Najin side, they don't have a good way to deal with a Fed Zed or on this team quite yet.
Yep.
And they can't 2v1 the Zed either without the risk of losing that mid turret. So here's the moment of truth. Trinity Force is now complete. Can they do something here? You can see Snowflower just walking through, getting some deep wards in, and trying to put down some damage onto the turret. Now, if they can get Maokai into the long lane here after taking down the turret, that would be ideal. Duke still having his way on the top side of the map.
Yep, they've got Songyun in the middle now, getting a decent amount of CS.
Now, they gave away the blue buff, but it's going to cost them even more damage onto the turrets from the minions right here. Bit surprised that Mickey isn't playing this more aggressively. He has the deep wards that were just placed in there by Morgana. He could take out this turret. He should be able to.
Yep, oh, there's a death mark down onto Goong. Oh, Mickey may have made a bit of a mistake. He didn't finish off the turret. He just used his ult and then kind of walked around. Meanwhile, Najin is going to be able to take the, or going to lose a mid lane turret perhaps. Yep, they will indeed. Flash from Mickey. Najin not able to catch him, and they give up mid at the same time. That was a bit of an awkward series of events across the board, wasn't it?
Yeah, I really feel like Mickey could have autoed that turret a couple more times while Goong was overdoing blue pretty safely.
Yeah.
And they could have taken out both tier 1s. Instead, Mickey beats a hasty retreat, and now they lose some damage onto their tier 1 on the bottom side.
Well, Lyra's going to have a hard time defending this turret against OQ. OQ already has this Infinity Edge as well, too. And so they can't quite take the turret out. Oops, OQ taking a lot of damage. They will get bottom.
Wow, that's a huge answer from Najin right there as they maintain that gold lead. This is a pretty good situation for them as Mickey takes a bit of a detour just to get the blue buff right here. Now they swap Maokai in there to finish off this tower. Zed is going to head into the top side.
So Duke has managed to keep a pretty nice CS lead and top throughout all of this as well too, but he might get dove here. Pierce coming up to help him out.
Yeah, great lantern. Just get him out of there immediately. You can't save him or the turret in that situation. He will get dove with just the magic resist items, and Goong at the same time is getting some autos down onto mid. So
2-to-1 turrets. I heard both the Anarchy fans in the audience clapping there. Although they're going to have more after today.
definitely will. So tower's going down.
3-to-1.
All outers finally down for Anarchy. So this is the point where it becomes really difficult to play Zed in the current meta, because you have to continue to get towers or you can't team fight. If you're playing Zed, you need to get a huge advantage off of split pushing. And that is just so difficult to do because you're never going to take a solo inhibitor against a team unless they make a huge mistake.
Right.
And you can't team fight very effectively as Zed unless you have a large edge. But getting that edge after the outer ring of turrets goes down is the main quandary, and that's why we see so many teams that pick Zed sort of stall out here in the mid game and fall off in terms of their effectiveness.
Well, Najin looking for a chance to shine here near Dragon. Goong not able to put too much damage on the Lyra, but Najin's going to activate that Dragon. They're going to go for it. Iksu Songyun trying to poke here. Well, mostly Songyun. Can't really poke too much.
Meganar is almost down right now. This isn't the best time for Najin to fight.
Yeah, but Dragon's up. Looks like they might just need to give this one up. They will.
Yeah, they couldn't keep on going right there without the Meganar available. Mickey was in the mid lane, putting pressure down onto the tier 2. They lost some minions into the tower right there, and Duke still trying to push up and take out the tier 1. Meanwhile, here comes
Righteous Glory. Iksu pops it. They just want the turret. Here comes the teleport. Goong going in for a little bit of damage. Watch it. Pure chasing. OQ following behind. Goong missed the chains. He wasn't able to lock down Iksu here. Songyun takes some damage.
Oh,
Pure.
they missed the death sentence.
Yep. Duke is Meganar, but he's really not anywhere near the team unless he decides to like flash ult or something. Yeah, I don't think Naj wants to engage that.
TP advantage for Ixu right now. Now Duke did force them to lose a couple waves of experience at the top side just by pushing it up right before he came in. And they saved their tier 2 for it, but ultimately not really worth it just for the teleport, even though Duke continues to stress that CS lead. It's okay, as long as they hold on to the objectives and Duke continues to get tankier and tankier and tankier, Najin is in a good position.
Well, Denmark on a Pure, he's in a lot of trouble here.
Pure was not looking at his screen when that happened.
I don't think so, no.
He sort of sat there for the first half of Deathmark, so easy kill for Mickey.
Yep. I think Pure wasn't looking and then he was like, oh, well, Flay, I guess. What do you do?
You die. Zed is in a very good position right now. Mickey is just going to calmly TP back.
Yep.
Great wards again from Anarchy.
Anarchy is certainly playing a little bit higher of a level of playing their first match than we've seen from a lot of the newer squads in Korea this year. It's looking pretty good. So looking better than Samsung did last year. They're looking better than I am, at least for this first match anyway. They get the flash out of Snowflower.
Meanwhile, Najin is looking as delightfully inconsistent as ever.
They are so Najin. That's so knowledge, or Najin. I don't even know what words I'm saying anymore. We've reached that point. We've got a whole nother best of 3 guys coming up. Flash out of the Cataclysm from Pure. Oh. Wow. That blue buff is all Mickey's.
Well, nobody can tangle with Mickey right now.
No.
And no one's going to be able to tangle with him for the next little while. I mean, again, this said, once he reaches the late game, once the QSS comes in onto OQ, it becomes problematic. But until that happens, and here we go.
Oh, Deathmark on OQ. He gets caught over the wall with the lantern. Looks like he'll live through it for now. Meanwhile, Goon getting in the back line onto Snowflower. Oh, goodbye, Pure. Meanwhile, Duke coming caught over the wall with the lantern. Looks like he'll live through it for now. Meanwhile, Goon getting in the back line onto Snowflower. Oh, goodbye, Pure. Meanwhile, Duke coming from the side, but it's a little bit too late. Anarchy already in a good position in this fight. They're going to take out this mid lane turret. Another team fight won, 1 for 2. Harry's just getting bursted down too early for Najin to really fight this.
Well, everyone was separated right there. That's the kind of fight that Anarchy wants. I mean, Watch was on the side. They pushed him out from under the turret. Now Mickey getting low. Chains activate.
Can they finish him off? Not
that
quite.
That was a bold dash forward.
Whoa, flash for OQ. OQ. Duke comes in, he becomes Meganar right now, dies, Mega dead.
Well, Duke has a build with very little armor at this point. He's prioritized that magic resist pretty heavily, and that's more kills onto Mickey. This is really what pretty solid gold lead for them right now. Another turret down.
Sort of like awkwardly flash against the wall into 4 people as a 1/3 health AD carry.
Well, Ixu just trapped him immediately with the twisted advance.
Yep.
And there you go. Mickey hits his 3rd core item right now before Goong really has much of anything at all. So here you go. OQ gets caught out on the side, lantern back in, and Pure lands a nice, actually, combo onto Songyun right there, but there's no follow-up on the crowd control because OQ's already at 50% HP, as is Goong. Duke's in on the side, but there's the tower going down. Just look at the chain of events from this point forward. So Duke not really close to getting back into that Meganar. And we don't get to see OQ recklessly flashing forward.
Yep.
They're really not respecting at all the cooldown on that twisted advance. Now Goong's still struggling right now, does have the Morellonomicon, but still waiting to finish out that gold on the Zhonya's Hourglass. Now that's a huge item for him because that means that he can't get Zed ulted anymore.
There we go. He just picked it up right now.
Yeah, that's really important.
Yep, so now he can finally fight Mickey a little bit, but Mickey's going to be doing so much damage.
All Najin has to do is turtle right here. They don't have to take these fights. They already got the first dragon. They don't have to fight this next dragon. if they wait for just a little bit until the QSS comes down, the Zhonya's...
Oh, Duke finds Songyun. Valkyrie away. Nice ult onto Ixu. And the rest of their Najin coming in. Box used. They managed to take down Songyun. Meanwhile, Ixu comes in. There's the death mark. Mickey doing a little bit of damage here. Got the kill on the watch. But Najin able to win this fight with relative ease. There's a slow into Snowfaller. Culling used. Goon picks up that kill.
So they find a 5v3 there, which is why they're able to take it up. So we did some split pushing, so that was smart for Najin to pull the trigger. Of course, right as I say they shouldn't fight, but that was
an
in that fight. Yeah, when you're 2 men up and you can make that pick.
Yeah, and Dragon is about to come up too, so really the timing couldn't have been better for Najin.
Yeah, and taking this next Dragon is huge too, because that prevents Anarchy from ending this game efficiently off of forcing fights over and over and over again to the Dragon. So that's just a boon right there for them. You can see 2 members in the mid lane right now for Anarchy. Songyun moving too far forward. And honestly right there, Zed should have just stayed and taken out the inhibitor turret. There's no reason for him to come into this fight late. He had the minion wave already there, could have done significant damage, likely taken it out. And even though he did pick up a kill, it doesn't actually prevent any objectives from going down.
Yep. Mickey deciding to take his split push up to the top lane for now. Push up that wave a little bit. I mean, Anarchy is still up 4 turrets to 1.
Well, that's about to change big time. Najin should be snagging the gold lead as long as they can take down a couple outers right here.
Well, no luck just yet. Mickey, oh, really? Finds OQ, pops that.
Don't know he wants to do that.
Looks like he doesn't. Too many Najin players nearby.
Watch missed his ult right there, which keeps Mickey alive, but he burned quite a bit in order to try and pull that off, and pressure still going to be coming in the mid lane as that tower really hanging by a thread right now.
Well, Najin getting pushed back for the moment, but they've still got good wave clear. So they'll be able to shove it right back.
Looks like no turret just yet. Mickey managing to heal himself right back up and rejoin the fray. Still no blade, no death mark available to him.
What do you think about the Merc treads on Zed here?
I think it's good. He's definitely counting on the fact that he's going to be encountering some CC right here, and also helps him against the LeBlanc.
That's true. In the 1v1 against LeBlanc, it's nice to reduce the time you're trapped with the chains.
And really, it's just, I mean, Zed is a burst champ anyway, so other boots not going to be doing a whole lot for him. You really need to just stay alive so you can re-enter again once you use 1 round of your cooldowns.
That's true. Well, Najin trying to push all their lanes up right now. Still just 1 turret. Oh, death mark onto Goong, but Mickey has to run away. They've been doing a pretty good job of sticking together for now and not giving Mickey those 1v1s he's been looking for throughout the earlier parts of the game.
Okay. Well,
pressure's still on Najin, though.
Yeah, Ixu has actually been doing a pretty good job of split pushing tonight overall. And you know, one of the things that's been standing out is Najin's side wave control has been absolutely abysmal tonight. It seems like the pressure's constantly on them. Anarchy is controlling the tempo of the game much better. Here we go.
You can see with that Dark Binding, they ult Ixu here. Deathmark coming in the back lines. And will they get the kill? Watch, manages to take down Ixu. Mega Gnar now gets a stun onto Songyun right away. Big Gnar ult onto Mickey and Songyun. There goes the ADC. Mickey on the run. Goodbye support. Snowflower taken down. And so far, nobody dead on Najin just yet. Duke chasing. And it looks like Najin able to win that fight.
Yeah, the question is, can they take anything off of it, though? Because all of their lanes are, again, pushed right back up.
Yep.
They haven't been able to take down this mid lane, even tier 1 yet, and Najin has been struggling with this. These tier 1s from Anarchy have been staying up for a shockingly long time this evening.
You know, I wonder if this really exposes a weakness early on for Najin that other teams can exploit, too, if they see Najin struggling so much. I don't think that Mickey's going to find an opportunity here. Oh, Goom might find one, though. Gets the chains, and there's a stun. Looks like they'll be able to take him out. Deathmark down onto Duke. Wow, Mickey manages to make it out, but they're still going to lose the turret. So a win for Najin overall. minutes until Dragon. Najin finally taking the gold lead, I believe, for more or less the first time in this game.
So there's the QSS onto OQ right now. Now, in game one, I wasn't that impressed with his QSS mechanics on the Vayne. He was actually pretty late on QSSing a lot of the stuns that were coming in. But see what he can do with it this time around. Pretty simple to QSS a death mark off of you after it goes down. So, but now Mickey is in big trouble. Zonias are done. Randuin's Frozen Heart, QSS. Who do you really death mark right now? Pure is your only good option left.
And even using your combo and taking out Pure doesn't do a whole lot because Thresh is going to have the box down. Ideally, have already done all he needs to do in the fight anyway.
Yep. Be a bit tricky, so. Yep. Dragon in a minute. Najin looking pretty firmly in control of this game. Thornmail also done for Duke as well. That is. Yeah. And really the damage from Anarchy, not there. Trinity Force, Bloodthirster. Lots and lots of armor, but no Last Whisper.
Oh, there we go. They're trying to make a play onto Lyra here. Black Shield helps him out quite a bit.
Nice force of the TP from Najin. They got some poke damage down as well, so even more of an advantage for them. Anarchy really wants to fight this dragon, but I'm just not sure they have the presence to do it. Right before it starts, OQ will back off and grab a red buff for himself.
8 seconds until the next dragon. Najin's gotten 2 out of the 3 so far. Always seeming to manage to just barely find a way. Ultimate hits Mickey and Ixu as well too, but not a lot of immediate follow-up. There's a flay. They don't get it because of that Black Shield. OQ pops a Culling, getting a lot of damage down on the Snowflower. And there's Pure getting taken out. Zed did find his mark for death. Sonya is used for Goong as he gets out of that fight. Still gets the chains off at the very end. Ixu in the backlines making a lot of plays here that are letting Anarchy come through this fight. Valkyrie over the wall, and there's a double kill already for Songyun. And Najin getting pushed back this time right before the dragon.
Now they took that fight, but Duke wasn't anywhere close to having his Mega Gnar form yet. They thought they could hit a good ult, but they actually focused Ixu instead of Mickey, even though both of them were hit by the Glacial Prison. And Ixu actually manages to make it out alive in that circumstance as well. Dangerous Baron to go for.
That's a lot of low health members on Anarchy. Looks like Ixu's just gonna die. And Goon may not be done yet. There's Mickey getting taken out now. Getting very low. Oh, but the rocket from Songyun.
OQ just face planted his dash into a wall, actually.
Wow.
That may actually cost them the Baron.
Oh, Baron does get taken by Anarchy anyway. But Najin coming in to try to contest this now. Deathmark goes down to Anarchy. Is going to get the Baron and then some. Goodbye, Duke. A double kill now for Mickey. And things are not looking good.
OQ's QSS was not up during that engagement, so he couldn't cleanse out of the exhaust or the death mark that hit him. But he tried to dash over the Baron wall right there, but couldn't, just face planted, didn't make it over. And had he made it over, he probably would have been able to have them stop that Baron attempt.
Well, Najin not having the best night here.
Well, Najin just falling behind by 6K gold all of a sudden as they file one by one into the Baron pit. They're going to give up the Dragon as well, even things out on that front. And this is the kind of lead that can propel Anarchy to a victory right now.
It certainly
Mickey is absolutely huge. He has 100% kill contribution on his team so far.
Yeah, Mickey's been pretty impressive overall tonight. But this said, you can see why it's banned against him. I mean, the first thing he did in that last big fight was just to immediately blow up Pure.
Yeah, he found the target he needed, that's for sure. But Najin also really misplayed that last team fight. Can't be underestimated. Mickey.
Yeah, well, a series of 1v5s doesn't do you a lot of good.
I mean, focusing down the Maokai when you hit both the Maokai and the Zed with the ultimate.
I mean, Mickey was a bit farther away from everyone, but still.
It didn't matter.
Okay.
You have to make that decision properly. And then also going in when Duke was so far away from Mega Gnar, and now Anarchy is, well, Duke gets hit.
Yeah, he does. Already extremely low here. There's the Zonias, but he's going to be easy pickings once he's done. Manages to make it out for now. There's a box. He's way in the back of the base, so Watch comes in. Big Gnarl, but Anarchy just all over these guys. Wow, Snowflower even gets the ult into OQ. He's going to be able to cleanse out of it with that Quicksilver Sash.
Yeah, but actually hitting that binding right there made it so that there's no defense now.
Yep.
Well, Deathmark's already down, but...
Well, Goog and OQ's still up. Anarchy, they're going for it, man. They really want to win right here. Goon coming in, doing a lot of damage here. There goes Ixu getting taken out. Actually, Songyun manages to stay alive, do enough damage for Ixu to escape. First inhibitor turret, or Nexus turret going down. OQ getting taken out. That's a double kill for Songyun now, and Najin, guys, if you're a Najin fan, it's time to be sad, because Anarchy takes out Najin in the first match of Champion Summer.
This team on Gragas, if they can get it on that first round on the red side, I'm sure they would be quite happy. But just again, looking at how they lost to Samsung, they did get a nice dive off of a lane swap in that first game, and they may look to abuse that again if they can find it. But Samsung recovering particular situation. Again, Samsung, I felt that from watching their matches in the qualifier that their main strength right now is just their turret control, their objective control, and they've been able to make some comebacks.
So there was a conversation at the Prime House earlier today that went like this: what should we wear in the booth during picks and bans? And someone else said, how about a shiny, pale, flesh-colored coat? And they're like, yeah, great idea. Here we are.
All right, so Sejuani actually banned right here, but Eve is one of those junglers that hasn't been really playing to the Cinderhulk meta as much as most other players. Like we said, stuck with that Nidalee for a long time, still really likes to make those. He's a very duelist-oriented jungler. He has that very unique build on Nidalee where he'll go machete straight into tier.
Well, and it will be gets through.
First pick Azir again. Crown known for his Cassiopeia, Azir, and LeBlanc play, and with Cassiopeia banned, feels comfortable taking that Azir. Obviously, not worry about Sasin possibly playing Zed into him, even though he'd have to blind pick it anyway. So Gnar hovered over by Soul. Maokai, which we saw as such a high priority pick in our last match, not being taken yet. And they may prefer just to get that range versus melee matchup if they have it in the top lane.
Potentially taking this Vi. I mean, the top 3 popular junglers are not available right now, so we're going to see some interesting stuff in the jungle this game. Catch mulling over his options.
Should be mulling over Elise. That is not a great pick right now. Sivir Maokai. Very powerful priority picks, and that's what they're going to lock in.
You can always pick that jungler later. I think that's a good choice. So we'll see if Eve plays this Lee Sin. Might go back to that Nidalee. Or Nunu, still available too. See it a lot with the Azir.
I think the Nunu pick here is quite good. Obviously, they already have the Azir, so you've got a lot of synergy going there. Samsung did play the Azir-Nunu combination in the qualifier as well, and it was just about their zoning on turrets, and Spenu was too slow to react to the turret pressure. So if I'm Samsung coming in here and I can get champions that I can really just push down turrets quickly with a Nunu, I'm going to go ahead and take that. They can take Lucian here just fine. Fury obviously very comfortable on that champion. There's the Janna for a little bit more disengage.
And for some really powered up AD carries as well too with that shield. Adding that AD.
Really good way to take down some early turrets. So it seems like Samsung just coming in with the same game plan that saw them to a victory in their best of 3 against Spenu in the qualifiers. Could take the Lee Sin here. Again, that was a pick that has seen some resurgence.
Yep. And are we going to see the Bard? I feel like we're going to see Bard at some point during the season. But it's just such a hard champion to work into team compositions. Hard to use it well.
So, by the way, we are on patch 5.8. I was misinformed about the patch we were on, which I figured out as soon as Zed was not taking 1 second to return to his shadow after Deathmark. So the Lee Sin is a bit of a riskier pick under these circumstances, but they're going to take it.
Oh, well, Nautilus is cool too. And so the final 2 picks for Samsung now.
Wouldn't be surprised to see the Lucian here. But they're trying to make plays again in the early game. You have to make this Lee Sin count. Hecarim still available. It has been one of Kuvei's best champions, Hecarim. And then Lucian. I can easily see being the picks.
Looks like it certainly might be. You never know, too. This could be like a mid Lee Sin and a jungle Nautilus for SPENU as well.
That would be quite surprising.
Well, I've learned to be unsurprised by surprises here.
So what is SPENU going to do? They're in a little bit of a bind right here. Sasin, I'm not sure if he is going to be up to the task of playing Zed here. And if they play Kassadin, they run into a situation. Okay, they're going to play Fizz, actually.
All right.
Well, this is dangerous. Not great wave clear, and how they lost last time. Why I was saying the Kassadin was risky is because SPENU just had their turrets kicked in by Samsung in their last matchup, and so by playing Fizz, you're running with limited wave clear besides this Sivir, and that Sivir can be bullied out by this Janna Lucian lane at least early on. Also, very little wave clear coming in from the jungle, so I don't know about this. Samsung, I think, has a pretty nice way to win this game as long as they can continue to put on the pressure, which shouldn't be an issue given their composition and Eve's recent propensity for staying in lane and just sitting there in blood-boiling fury and then following him around the map until all three outers are dead.
Hey, that works.
It did work.
It's going to be interesting. It's going to be an interesting season for Samsung as well, too, because they're not the rookie team anymore, you know? Now people are looking for these guys for some development as a squad, and I think already from picks and bans, they're showing that they're interested in expanding kind of their repertoire. They're not just that crazy all-in fighting team that we saw at the beginning of last season anymore.
Well, to be fair to Samsung, they also weren't even the worst team in the league by the time the season ended. I think that honor belonged firmly to Incredible Miracle.
Definitely. Well, we'll see who takes game one. Samsung versus SPENU Sonic Boom. Let's get in the game. And here we go. Welcome to Summoner's Rift for our second best of 3 of the night. And I've got a feeling that Kuvei is going to be heading back to base very soon because he has not bought items yet. He's just so excited to get out there. He's like, yeah, we're back. Champions is back. I'm feeling good. I'm ready to throw a ward and to try. Uh-oh. He's going to realize, like, right now. Yep.
He got a trinket at least. Now, I'm wondering
he did get the trinket.
What he is going to do right here.
Yeah,
because
he might
there
just
may be a weird plan.
Yeah.
Sometimes with Hecarim, if you do that camp early with Smite, I mean, we've seen situations on Hecarim where you buy Flask, and then you do a jungle camp, and then you go back and buy Cloth Armor, or something like that. So he may be waiting to see what his lane is, but I somehow think he's just going to go back and
yeah, there we go.
Flask.
Yep, get the Flask. Yeah.
Okay, but he's not probably going to not buy anything else, because if he is in a lane swap situation, that Cloth Armor is going to be quite useful, especially if he has to go back to the jungle and jungle for a little bit. Whereas Cloth Armor, obviously, against Maokai, not going to be particularly awesome for him, but they're trying to anticipate a lane swap because of the fact that SPENU played the lane swap better last time, so they can be confident doing that. And, of course, the Samsung fans still here. The Samsung fans are really diehard, by the way.
Yeah, they are. Like, if you...
Fury, so Fury-T, I guess.
Whatever. Whatever, Samsung fans. It's okay. Yeah, but if you're looking for hardcore League of Legends fans in Korea, Samsung is definitely one of the craziest, in a good way. Looks like they're going to give the big Krug over to Fury. Yep.
Yeah, going to go ahead and clear the Krug camp right there. Now they know Lee Sin is starting over at that blue buff.
Yep.
And lane swap has commenced, so no freeze here for Samsung. Crown looks to bully out Sasin early on. Now Nautilus is going to go ahead and check over at the blue buff, see if he can. Is he actually? No, he's not taking damage. He's going to do the small camp here. This is really annoying for the enemy jungler because that little bit of XP can really slow them down. Now there was a Wolf Spirit right there chasing him around a little bit. But you want to take these two small golems because it makes it very difficult for the jungler to level up off of this camp. And Catch may go ahead and take that blue, but very quick dragon. So what we've seen so far, no freeze from Samsung, quick shove into the turret, followed by a dragon. Now they knew that their blue was being taken, so they're going to go ahead and sacrifice it. They'll be happy to make that trade. Eve not really needing a blue buff. Of course, with Nunu's passive, you're going to get a lot of free spells anyway.
Right. So a good adaptation by Samsung. They're not phased at all by losing that blue. Cuvée may be like, well, I wanted that blue. Well, too bad, Cuvée. You can get the Gromp.
And get the Gromp he will.
That's right. Kind of sounded like an insult when I said that, huh?
All right, now the question is,
get the Gromp.
Are they going to dive this on the next wave? Sol was able to TP into the bottom side, and they saw Hecarim over at the Gromp, and it doesn't look like he's going to be able to break that freeze quite yet. So he's just going to recall, and then will he TP or just walk into lane? So a bit of a difference right here, but Samsung definitely looking to go ahead and fast push this a little bit. Sassen, that playful trickster, gets a bit of damage down. Luna's still here. It looks like they're trying to reverse this and just freeze it out at the moment after picking up the dragon.
Oh, a little bit of damage onto Sol. Luna does not connect with that whirlwind. Yeah, Crown getting a nice little CS lead early on, but you do expect Azir to be a bit of a bully in lane early.
Yeah, especially against this Fizz.
Yeah.
Not too surprising at all.
Yeah, I have to be really careful kind of bouncing around the sand soldiers.
Meanwhile, Cuvée does spot out the Scuttler right there already taken. Will be doing some bit of counter jungling in response. So Cuvée ahead in CS despite the fact that he just isn't going to lane. Instead, helping out Nunu. A bit of the counter jungling, and Catch isn't going to find too many camps right now. His topside jungle already cleared out. Now his Raptor's cleared as well. And he hasn't been able to make any plays with this Lee Sin, although still early in the game.
Well, you know, that's the power of that Nunu too, is you can get in and invade and take so much of your enemy jungle.
Well, especially with the smite too on the top laner, Catch is going to be losing a lot of camps if this continues. It's like Samsung has chosen to push this wave in the end. Lee Sin is there waiting just to make sure that there isn't any diving. Sol can go ahead and pick up a lot of that experience in CS. And finally, we may see a return to the top side, and Cuvée at 5.5 minutes into this game will hit the lane. Eve is there as well. They want to break this freeze.
Yeah, picks up that skirmisher saber really quickly this game too. Wanting to be able to fight as easily as he can.
So here we go. Easy clear out right there. Eve just patrolling the tri-brush, making sure that there isn't going to be too much of an all-in attempt here onto this Hecarim. And both teams playing out this lane swap pretty well, actually. Different styles, but making it work. Samsung still with a slight advantage. That blue steal, of course, not really worth the dragon that Samsung saw earlier. So nice to see Samsung cleaning up some of those situations that cost them.
Wow, Sassen taking a lot of poke from that one sand soldier. Man. And Sol able to still get a decent amount of farm down in bot lane.
I'm a bit surprised that we see Luna hanging around bottom side so much right here. Now with the freeze, Fury should be able to handle himself, and that should open up Luna for some more roaming. And the counterplay against this Lee Sin is very important. Yes, they did get some nice wards onto the top side. And look at the play too. Eve actually opting for a sight stone before even upgrading his machete. So they're putting a premium. They know if Catch can't make plays early on this Lee Sin, he's going to be irrelevant. Here we go.
Yeah, Crown ulted by Sassen. Here comes Catch as well too. They're going to have to push him back into turret. Eve helping out quite a bit there, and there's just not a lot that Spenu can do.
Yeah, he used his barrier on that. Didn't see fit to try and make some sort of flashy play with the Emperor's Divide, instead just playing defensively. And
yeah,
I think Samsung knows that they have this tremendous scaling advantage this game. I mean, they've got a blood-boiled Lucian and a Azir, as well as a Hecarim with Smite. So
it's interesting, though, because patience isn't really a talent that Samsung had in the past.
Nice forcing the flash right there on Sol, and that's true.
Yep.
You know, they They haven't played well in the late game.
Methodical is not how I would describe Samsung as of last season, but
look at how they're playing. Eve, that
Yeah.
jungler who traditionally has liked to play aggressively, this time going for the least aggressive, most vision-centric build possible, and just attempting to shut down the other jungler. So this is, I think, a bit of a different style than we've seen previously from Eve, and shows some development right here, and certainly he's making it work. Now they're trying to take the blue buff again.
Yep.
Second round, keep it away from this Azir, and
looks like they can.
4 people there. There's not really too much
Yeah.
that Samsung can do.
Crown doesn't seem too hurt by this anyway, so I don't think he's quite as worried as some of the other mid laners are a little bit more blue buff dependent would be.
Now Samsung has allowed this Maokai to really get ahead in terms of farm though, because they've been a bit indecisive about whether they want to freeze or whether they want to push this turret, and Janna has been staying around on the bottom side in spite of that not really helping or doing very much at all. So they need to make a decision about whether they want to fast push this or whether they want to freeze it. Well, the decision doesn't have to be made any longer because we now have the 2v2 right as this dragon's about to spawn. So Spenu's swapping back into the bottom side for that control at the appropriate time, but really deep wards going in the interim as they see Maokai in the top lane.
Wow, this is probably already the most methodical and well played out early game I've seen Samsung do.
I'm quite impressed by Samsung, what we've seen. Another dragon immediately on it. Look at the timing too. Right after it spawns, 6 wards in the enemy jungle. They know exactly what's going on. Kube is standing around in the far back from the minion wave, waiting to TP if necessary, where he can't be interrupted by Soul.
Yeah.
And that is an easy dragon for Samsung.
Yeah, this Samsung team is looking a bit different in a good way. And it's only the first 9 minutes of the first game of this season, but already they're really showing a lot of poise that they didn't have before.
Yeah, I really felt we saw this in the qualifiers as well. What impressed me was how well this Samsung team was adapting to being from behind and figuring out a way to get back in the game. And here's Eve again, just standing in lane, blood-boiling fury.
Well, that works.
And now they're going to fast push the mid tower. So they've identified that this Fizz still has very low wave clear, only a couple Doran's rings, and they really want to take this down from 50% to 0. They've got great siege, and they have that Azir along with the Blood Boil. They already have the BF sword, so this should be pretty easy for them. This is great play from Samsung.
Yeah, I think they're going to get this mid lane turret too. It looks like Spinu might want to fight here. Catch coming in as well. They have the ult onto Eve. Not the most ideal situation here. Catch getting very low though. Eve as well. That's another kill. First blood for Fury as Samsung disengages. Nice heal from Luna coming in. That's a double kill now for Fury, and they just absolutely destroy Spinu in that team fight. They lost Eve, but getting the double kill onto Fury along with that first blood gold is pretty huge.
Well, they were so ready for that
in
the end. Look at the wards they have in the bottom side of the map right there. So they knew everyone was coming up, ready to take that fight, and they played it out well. And they're going to get the turret.
Oh man, the knockup onto Saucin. Can he get away with playful stricter? Fury flashes in. Another kill, this one going to Crown. Oh, Samsung looking really good in this first game so far.
This is very crisp.
No kidding.
Now, like I said, this is the same style of play that we saw from them in the qualifier, so I'm wondering how deep their pool of strategies go, but it's for sure that they're very good at executing some of these fast push strats.
Yeah.
And they're keeping it up here tonight. So,
well, the communication seems really good too. You know, just in that last fight to have the whirlwind loaded up to hit Saucin right as the turret went down too, and then they transitioned to the kill. It was very smooth.
You know, it is worth noting that Samsung, in spite of their tribulations in the last season, did retain the old coach from Samsung Blue. And that's a coach that, you know, if you think about Samsung Blue, that was a team that in 2013 was pretty laughably bad.
Yeah. Oh, they're going to catch Eve here. Even a little bit of trouble using his ult. Getting kicked back again. They're going to use 2 ults on him, actually. There's a knockup. The shield from Luna might be enough, but here comes Saucin to try to finish things off. He's going to use his ult. So there you go. Now 3 ults used to take down Eve.
There's a miscoordination of timing there between Luna and Eve on getting the wards in. So they walked into a dark jungle. He walked into a dark jungle by himself and sort of got what he deserved right there.
Will this lead, though, to possibly an easier objective for Samsung because Spinu doesn't really have the ability to fight it too much?
see what they choose to do with this. Blue buff is up right now for SPENU, and Catch did have to go back. He will be building Cinder Hulkleys in this game, so his late game contributions are going to be pretty minimal.
Cinder Hulkleys in. Okay.
But look how much this opens up the map. And Fizz somehow has to figure out how to get over to this blue buff. Yes, they have the vision right there, but they have no pressure in mid or bottom. There's the turret going up. It's so hard for them to take this blue and live.
They're going to try. There's a knock-up on the Catch.
Had to take it on to Catch.
Yep.
So they couldn't transfer it over. So Samsung just playing this big pressure game.
Yep. I mean, denying it from the mid laner and putting it on a jungler that doesn't really need it is almost as good as taking it yourself.
I really like what we... yes, Eve has died a couple of times this game, and that last kill in particular wasn't too great. But look again, they're already loaded back up. 4 men pushing this turret. There we go.
Go in after Divide, push a secret back. Nice play from Crown to give Fury another kill there. Wow.
And Fury has really been hard carrying this team too.
Yeah, definitely.
And this is the player you want to hard carry. Now Fury, we know, is an extremely good player in solo queue.
Oh, culling used. Nuclear has to pop his ult just to get out.
Wow, look at this too. Just healing up right there in front of the turret. Can't quite take it down, but Fury is a player who spent most of last season with 2 accounts in the top 15 in Korean solo queue. So his mechanical skill has been there. It's just been his team coordination and synergy with his teammates that's been a bit lacking, but they figured out this strategy that works, and it's not like Samsung's going to get less powerful either. An early gold lead and this level of control is so valuable because Hecarim and Azir are going to scale like crazy into the late game, particularly with the Nunu there to amp Azir's damage up even further.
Now, Cuvée is a little bit behind in CS to Seoul. It's about, well, quite a bit behind, actually. But you do have to keep in mind, of course, with these Smite top laners, never mind, a catch onto Crown getting completely caught out there. Whoops, that happens. But going back to Cuvée, you have to understand some of the CS's jungle camps with more money attached to them, so.
Second time we've seen a Samsung player walk into a dark side of the jungle with very little respect for where his opponents could be this game. So
it does happen, I guess.
Yeah, Samsung not respecting that vision control as much as they should.
Well, Dragon back up in about 5 now.
And no Azir there for this fight, however.
Yeah, looks like they might have to give it up.
Well, also no wards from SPENU, like literally none on the bottom side of the map. So it's very dangerous for them to walk in there, and they don't have ults.
You can just push Sasin away a little bit here.
You need that Fizz ult if you want to fight this one.
All right, just pushing up the mid lane again.
They bought enough time for Crown to revive and head back down, and now the pings are coming in.
Yep. They see that recall. I mean, the warding is so good in the enemy jungle for Samsung that they can take another essentially free dragon because they just know they're completely safe. 3 dragons already at 16 minutes.
Holy cow.
And 2 turrets ahead in kills. Yeah, what a game so far for Samsung.
Yeah, again, some silly mistakes from Samsung, but on the whole, their strategy is really coming together. And that is sort of an echo of what we saw in the qualifiers as well. They would make some really silly individual mistakes, but as a team, they would figure out how to win the game. So if they can eliminate some of these individual misplays and couple it with this strong teamwork that we're seeing, they're going to be a much better team this season.
So far, so good in game number 1 anyway.
Yeah, if we think back to Samsung, what was their big problem really? It was that, there's a smite.
Stole it.
Their problem last season was that they really they couldn't figure out how to play compositions properly. And they didn't play with a whole lot of cohesive strategy, but it's definitely not the case in the last couple of weeks. Cuvée.
Oh, Cuvée might be getting dove here. We'll see if he can get away on his ult. He's trying to make something happen, but there's the ult from Sasin as well. Moving back again. And nope, not able to get the turret to do enough damage. Nice aggro juggling on that turret from SPENU.
Yeah, but at the same time, choosing not to use his ult right there, it would appear holding it to see if he could make a play with it after he comes back up, knowing that he was dead regardless. And in the meantime, Samsung continues to push forward 2 lanes right now, gets a turret, and looks like it will be a 1-for-1 trade.
Yeah.
in the end, but they're going to lose a lot of CS to that mid lane.
I suppose that's the thing, you know, is if you see that you're going to get taken out, you might as well just make it last as long as possible. Let your team get that top lane turret.
And you can still maybe make a TP bolt play right here, as we see the home guard's already completed for Kuve, even though, again, he is falling pretty far behind in terms of CS, so Soul will be getting tankier and tankier. But that said...
Oh, they might be catching people here. Eve finds Tucson, and actually, Spenu just on the run now. Sonic boom.
Okay.
Another blue buff.
Keep this away from Sassen one more time.
Yep, Sassen moving off to the side. He's going to try to flank here. It looks like they take the blue buff, and they get out just in time. So no fight opportunities in that narrow corridor for the Spenu Sonic Booms, or just Spenu
Sonic Boom. It's not like
no S.
It's not like the stealths, though.
Stealths.
I know we're used
right.
to random plurals on our Korean teams that have airplane-sounding names.
It's true.
But it's just the Sonic Boom this time. They are a singular Sonic Boom. It's because they're together, Doa. They're all together in the Sonic Boom plane. Wow!
Whoa! Oh, and the flash from Secret gets out of Emperor's Divide, but trading a flash for an ultimate. Not feeling too bad. Although Crown used his barrier and his flash there too, so getting a bit overeager.
Yeah, it was a bit of a preemptive barrier right there, trying to make the play and anticipating what would be coming next, but instead, Secret does manage to get the fast fingers on the flash and taking a huge amount of damage.
Oh,
okay.
He got the crit. Wow.
Yeah, wow indeed. I mean, he already has that zeal there in addition to the Infinity Edge. So what is Samsung going to do with this? They're pinging down onto the top side, wanting to do something. Sassen.
Well, they're going to try to catch Soul here, it looks like. Soul, has to teleport back to base. It's a nice little edge for Samsung, as they'll have that teleport advantage now for a few minutes.
There we go. Just going to go ahead and take this Scuttle Crab right there. The question is, do they know they have the TP advantage?
Well, they were heading up to try to find him initially, so I would imagine, they know he got out somehow. Hard to say, I suppose. Dragon up in a couple minutes.
Well, Sassen has all the kills right now on his Spenu, so he's really going to have to carry this game. Built the Sheen after the Morellonomicon. Now, it's like he may be going into Hourglass as his next item.
Wouldn't be a bad idea. Kuve is going to go ahead and help that blue buff go over to Crown. And Fury just going to take red, I suppose. 1 minute till Dragon now, and Spinner really wants to take this one. So if they let Samsung get up to 4 dragons at like 22 minutes,
it's got to be a pretty much... Well, yeah, pretty much an impossible game to win at that point, because the 5 dragons red is just absolutely enormous at that point, and Samsung's composition is just going to keep getting stronger and stronger and stronger, and they have so many ways to deal with Fizz.
Yeah.
I mean, you could just sit there in absolute zero and dare him to Playful Trickster into your team.
You know, the thing is, too, is that Samsung's not overreaching at all with this. They're playing very safe, very methodical at the same time.
Vision control has been absolutely ridiculous this game. And
yeah. Dragon at 30. Samsung just needs to patrol the little area of wards. Oh, Secret getting bursted down, and they get the knockup. Do they get the kill? The culling! Oh, it nearly takes him out.
Yeah, but they got enough right there, obviously,
yeah,
that chunk.
Definitely. Hugely
important. Again, Fury managing to hit a nearly full channel culling right on the support, and how are you supposed to fight after that in that 4v5 now? They're going to be easily able to refresh their wards, use their lenses, clear out absolutely anything, and man, Dragon is completely dark for Spenu.
Yeah, this is being a pretty one-sided game so far in favor of Samsung, as they're going to take another unopposed Dragon. This is it looks like a completely different Samsung team.
Their level of coordination is much superior.
Crown, I mean, I know you can't read too much into one game, but he already looks better than both Bliss and Ace.
Go. Righteous Glory used right there. Are they going to turn this? Sassen on the side, looking for that flank, but I don't think that Samsung wants to take that risk right now. They're happy just to continue poking
Wow.
and defend their turret.
Fury's getting a little bit crazy here.
Yeah, I love watching Fury play Lucian, though. That's a bit of a waste of an ult.
He's like, I want to get knocked up too. Getting locked in the backlines, will he able to get an ult off? He does. Flashes back. Spenu's chasing. There's the ult on the Eve. They're going to get one kill at least. Meanwhile, Soul comes in the backlines, gets knocked back out by that Emperor's Divide. Sasson, way deep, manages to get the kill onto Fury here. Now he's going after Crown. And so Spenu not quite dead yet, winning the little skirmish in the jungle there at least. But
yeah, Kuve a bit late right there to the party, so they actually do manage to get some nice kills. Sasson picks up yet another one, and Lee Sin in the mid lane will take out the turret. Sasson looking for another one. Sasson did kill Fury with the damage over time from Fizz, just barely taking the kill, and that'll propel Spenu to a slight gold lead in spite of the 4 dragons already under Samsung's belt.
Well, and that's when you have to talk about the value that these dragons give that just isn't shown in gold. Let's take a look at this fight, though. Eve tries to get behind it, just gets knocked up himself, and takes so long before he can actually use his ult.
Yeah, Crown also has a lot of weird sand soldiers, like in that brush right there that Kuve's trying to get to, so Eve moves forward, but in his flashback, and there's Fury just going down to the damage over time. Meanwhile, Crown backs off with his sand soldiers, and that'll secure another turret in the end for Spenu.
Yep. So they're even on turrets. They're one ahead in kills, but being down at 4 dragons is...
going for Cinder Hulk into Trinity Force. This is a very aggressive Hecarim build, one that we rarely see. You either do Ignite and go into that Trinity Force first, or you take Smite and then build tank after the Cinder Hulk enchantment is complete. So he really just wants to get into the back line, one-shot nuclear, and then have his team clean up from there. But he needs to be playing these fights differently in that situation. If you want to go for an aggressive build like that, you have to get the home guard teleport flank, because you can't play frontline in that situation. You are basically dedicating yourself to clearing out the back line immediately, and you're just not going to live if Nuclear's able to get a couple autos on you.
You know, Samsung's just got a lot of burst in general this game. Result, things like that.
But they have to coordinate better about these setups, because Kuve's current positioning and his team getting into these fights isn't really helping out.
I find it interesting that Kuve was like the only lane that they didn't find another replacement for. I suppose they didn't for Eve either, but it really looked at the end of last season like Kuve was going to be fighting for his job here, but so far he seems to have it locked down.
Yeah, I don't know who you take to replace Kuve, though, because his solo queue performance has been really good. Again, he's another Samsung player that has been consistently in the top 20.
Well, that's the puzzle, right? It seems like on solo queue he's very strong, but when it comes to actual professional matches, he's struggled quite a bit.
I think with Kuve, though, we did see some clear improvement over the course of last season.
Yeah.
So
he certainly is getting better.
And some of these fights, too, have been Samsung playing too far forward and not giving Kuve a chance to actually set up right there. So Samsung getting caught out just a bit, and Fury will grab the red buff slowly as it releashes multiple times.
He just wants to savor the moment, you know? He's like, the red buff. All right, traps the fighter on Baron here. Crown trying to take out a turret with that Sand Soldier. It looks like he'll get it.
So Spenu really needs to work on their vision control, though. In terms of wards this game, it has been clearly dominated by Samsung.
Oh, yeah.
And now Spenu trying to bait this Baron, pings furiously going down.
Maybe they can do it. They jump onto Eve. They kick him back. There's a culling into the enemy team. Eve gets off a little bit of an ult before going down.
Wow, Crown really preemptively ulted right there, trying to cut off the choke point.
Yeah.
And now they are going to find themselves probably baited once again right by this Baron as they take out 2 wards right in the mouth of the pit. And there come the sweeper. Wow, one sweeper gets 3 wards. That is a huge benefit. So now they can bait, just do the same thing again.
And Samsung kind of has to check it. I think this is going to be a whirlwind going in there, though. Yep. There it is. Knockups.
Oh, the
that was
flash
a close call.
Anchor there. Not able to connect. Fury checks it with his W.
I like the effort, though, you know? If you're going to go all in on something like that, totally throw out the flash anchor. Well, about 35 seconds now until the dragon comes up again, and this would be dragon number 5. So SPENU needs to be very careful in the immediate future because they cannot give up this 5th dragon. If Samsung gets the 5th dragon at sub 30 minutes, it's going to be really hard.
Kube has his Trinity Force now.
Yep.
So he can actually really effectively deal with nuclear, and there is Secret.
Oh, Secret gets caught by Crown, and there's a kill. Now, Emperor's Divide was used.
Every time Secret gets caught out and takes huge chunks right before these dragons hit. So, SPENU just hasn't been able to contest a Dragon 5v5.
Oh, they find Catch. Catch nearly caught. Meanwhile, the Azir turret does go down, but Dragon is up. And so can SPENU win the 4v5? Here we go, Righteous Glory use. They're going to jump into Crown the back lines. Immediately Luna pushes people back with that ultimate. Kube getting chased around, but it's splitting up the SPENU team. That's allowing Samsung to come in from behind and win a pretty easy fight. Goodbye, Sasin. And it looks like 5th Dragon went to Samsung. Oh boy.
And now, do you go ahead and take the Baron here? Kube's already recalling. He can come back in with full HP. They're slowly ticking off these wards, and now they're just going to go for it.
Yeah, they're going to take out the Baron really quickly, too, as you can see. SPENU coming in, teleport him, just to make sure that Kube can help out a little bit.
There goes Baron. Got the Baron right there, even though he used his smite, and there we go, another culling.
Look at that damage on a nuclear, the flash ahead. Fury can't quite get the kill, but it's all about pushing people off of these objectives. Man, that is some damage.
And look at that dash forward from Fury. This is why, remember last season we used to watch Fury's Lucian. He's just so aggressive on this champion, even through the Nautilus ult, constantly moving forward and maximizing his damage in this team fight. I'm so glad to be seeing him play, to see him rather play this champion again, because it's always a pleasure.
Man, well, no pleasure on the side of SPENU as they're getting pretty rocked by Samsung right now. Look at all that damage. Secret's like, no worries, I got you.
Oh, he's nailing him in the end.
Yep.
Fury with 100% kill contribution rate for his team so far in this game. Now with the Baron, already with 5 Dragon stacks here, so early on in this game.
So what objectives are they going to push here? It looks like the bottom tier 2 is the first priority, getting what's farthest away from Baron. If you get a choice, it's a good one to go in.
No, I think this pick was definitely a mistake. Again, they know how they were beaten by this fast-pushing style of Samsung in the qualifier, and they just sort of walked right into it again.
That's the thing. Oh, meanwhile, wow, Kube solos Sasin. Did I just say that? Kube solos somebody? He's been better since the Cinder Hulk meta's come out.
He also has 5 Dragon stacks in the Baron buff.
Oh yeah, that helps too. That's true. That's pretty nice. Wow. Come on, Miniwave. All right, and Blood Boil on Fury. Fury is absolutely terrifying right now. Look at all that damage. Oh, man.
They just chew through these towers so quick. You have an Azir, you have a Blood Boil.
Yeah, they're moving to the mid lane now, and there's really nothing that SPENU can do about it. Let me get a couple inhibitors out of that. Mista culling again, and it still even does so much damage to the top lane. Are you kidding me?
Well, he is dealing a lot of true damage to the top laner with that 5th Dragon stack as well. So Fury's going to pop over the wall in a very methodical destruction taking place of SPENU's base.
This is just disgusting, man. Wow.
I mean, they are doing 30% extra damage to towers right now, so.
Yep.
And when you start popping Sand Soldiers on them.
Yeah. SPENU just trying to hold on for dear life at this point, but I think it's pretty close to over.
Indeed it is.
Yep.
Well,
the dragon buff is gone, though.
Yeah, some of these buffs are wearing off.
Yeah, Baron is nearly gone. But Samsung's still very strong regardless. Here we go, SPENU, last-ditch effort. Luna there to use that ult to put people back. Emperor's Divide creates that space again. Saucin doesn't hit anyone with that ult. He's going to get taken down. Meanwhile, Fury already in the back doing damage. He is a one-man army at this point, taking the turret and taking apart SPENU's Sonic Boom. The only Sonic Boom we're hearing is from how fast they're running away from Samsung.
It's pretty fast if we're hearing a Sonic Boom.
It is. It's about as fast as you're ever going to go. And at 32 minutes, Samsung is ready to just crush the life out of SPENU here in game 1. Wow. This series may not be quite as close as the last one. There it goes. GG. Game 1 is over.
Wow. So,
I mean, you know me. I'm not the type to really criticize fashion. I feel like I'm not really in a place where I can criticize fashion that much.
nope, anybody can criticize those, Doa.
With those coats, yeah. I feel like anyone has license to say that coat should never be worn by any living being.
All right, well, Hecarim and Cassiopeia taking out no more top lane Hecarim shenanigans for Cuvée in this game. Cassiopeia banned this game, so pretty different pick ban strategy. Twisted Fate.
Huh, that's interesting.
Do it. Clearly a threatening Twisted Fate player.
I guess so.
You know, they don't want that champion to come out here, so what will they go with as their last ban? Again, very different bans. Previously, Spenu, Cassiopeia, Rek'Sai, and Callista. So retaining the Cassiopeia.
It's back again.
I know it's back. It's here to torture us every pick ban phase. LeBlanc.
LeBlanc ban, okay.
Not banned or picked at all in the last match. Apparently, they are suddenly concerned with Crown it that way. And there is the Azir ban actually coming in from Samsung. So not wanting Spenu to go ahead and first pick that champion.
Yep. So what's the first pick going to be for Spenu Sonic Boom?
Well, this should really test Crown's champion pool because with both Azir and Cassiopeia out, as well as LeBlanc, he's going to have to move to something pretty different in terms of traditional meta picks right now and champions that we know he plays. So Thresh has been a pretty contested ban tonight, but it looks like the Gragas was banned by Samsung in match 1, and Catch played Gragas in 4 games out of his 5 games during the qualifiers this past weekend.
Well, it's funny that we saw, you know, so much of a priority on the jungle bans in game number 1, and now in game number 2, not a single one.
And there we go, Maokai up. They prefer, Cuvée is going to prefer to take that Gnar over the Maokai.
I don't think Duet's going to do Yasuo. You never know.
Well, he got the epic Gragas synergy, Doa. He has 2 knockups.
That's true.
To ult off of. I'm just joking.
You only need
really
one
bad.
last breath. That's right. Kennen maybe for Soul or Vivid, I suppose, too.
Yeah, possibly even a mid Kennen. It's a pretty ambiguous pick in the current meta. Although playing Kennen without Callista, not always the best plan.
Well, not a support Kennen, apparently.
Now, Soul did play Kennen during the qualifiers in the top lane.
All right.
So that pick still on the table for them, but a little bit showing their hand, I feel, and they're going to switch it over to the Maokai. So we'll take that matchup into the Gnar, and early picking the Alistar as well.
All right. And I suppose it's not wanting to really show too much of what they have in mind.
There's a lot of melee champs here, though,
Yep.
to deal with Samsung once again in terms of that more rapid pushing style that they've developed. Urgot's still a threat, and one thing that's really interesting about what we saw during the qualifiers is Urgot did make it through some of the picks and bans, but really not being that same ultra high priority pick that we saw at the mid-season invitational. And the Urgot Alistar lane still extremely strong. Fury, longtime Jinx player, back when he was on Prime, known as Zed Engine, he did play a lot of Jinx. Definitely a player who is a Jinx main.
And it was supposed to be Jet Engine, but just the way that English goes to Korean and then back to English, he ended up being Zed Engine.
Oops.
Yep.
It's because there is no Z sound in the Korean language, so it always is pronounced as a J sound instead. So they actually can't differentiate between Z's and J's.
Yeah, you just kind of go for like a hard sort of Z sound. Jet Engine. So, final 2 picks. For Spenu, Sonic Boom. Lucian locked in for Dan, and it looks like Duet's going to do Ziggs in the mid lane. Not very exciting. And there's a Rek'Sai for Eve. Okay, so pretty powerful composition for Samsung.
Well, Samsung's really based around this Jinx. This is a definite protect the Jinx composition that we have rolling right here. It all depends on Fury, but they've been playing more and more around Fury, especially as we saw in that last game. Really, Eve putting so much jungle priority on just being in lane with Fury to push down turrets, and Jinx, one of the best fast-pushing champions in the game. We'll see if they actually decide to take the lane swap here and make an attempt to get that early tower. But good turtling here against that siege coming in from the Ziggs pick. They've got a lot of wave clear between Ziggs, Maokai, and Lucian, so it's not going to be quite so easy this game. And I like what we're seeing from sumner. Great adaptation. Take the fizz in the last game, realize that lack of wave clear lost you that mid lane turret very early on. It was abused by Samsung once they identified that pretty early timing to take the mid turret. This time, go the opposite direction. Take the Ziggs, swap your mid player, play the Ziggs player. Of course, Ziggs one of its favorite champions, and try and play for a high damage champion in the late game that has more threats in terms of damage other than just an AD carry. sumner takes this late. Pretty easy for them to itemize armor and then take it home.
All right, well, all right, welcome to Summoner's Rift. sumner Sonic Boom versus Samsung. Oh, sumner actually having a lot of fans here. Migrating over from Prime, I'm sure. And sumner, do it. Style start, do it. No, that's a different shoe company. You have to change your ID.
I see what they're doing now. This is a great hybrid marketing campaign.
I guess so. sumner, the Nike buyout is coming.
sumner, do it.
That's right.
So close.
Style start, I'm loving it.
Just take all slogans from all major brands.
Yep. That's right.
See, I don't even know what Reebok's slogan is. Reebok marketing department, you get on that. I don't even know what your slogan is.
We're not Adidas.
I don't know what Adidas is either. Say Nike.
What do you want me to say it? Adidas?
No,
like you say
I
it
don't.
In Germany?
No, I
right.
do not want you to do that.
Okay.
No one asked you to do that, though.
Hey, I was just asking. If you don't want me to do it, just say so. It's going to be a long season, Monty. It's going to be.
It will be, indeed.
A long one.
We only have 45 best of threes in the first round robin.
Yeah. It'll be good. We can do it.
You don't even have to do it all. I'm the one who has to do it.
Well, I'm going to be doing other things. Don't worry.
All right, well,
we'll do this one together.
Okay, so Fury and Luna will be taking the Gromp right here, trading that aggro. Meanwhile, no attempt to take the Krug, so there will be a slight XP advantage here for the Samsung duo lane. As Dan and Vivid not going to be taking any of those jungle camps early on, so.
Here comes the Fury.
That should be his tagline.
That's right. Here comes the Fury. Here comes the me. Yep.
That's Samsung's house motto. Ours is the Fury.
Style, start, surge. That's an older one.
All right, so Dan and Vivid are going to head back as soon as they see what is unfolding in front of them. Instead, go ahead and use that Alistar heal to take one of the small Krugs as they're zoned out anyway. Good use of the time if you're going to be waiting for that minion wave. And they knew that Luna and Fury had gotten that Krug, so make the most of their time in the laning phase. Eve heading up into the top side right now, looking for that early gank onto Maokai. Maokai without that TP, but is a level up at the current time. There we go.
Gonna try to make a play onto Soul here. Soul, just advance, gets knocked up immediately. Oh, flashes out of the stun though.
Yeah, nice
He was ready.
force of the flash right there from Eve.
Yep.
Looking to make that play, and now Fury using those rockets to get some pretty nice zoning out.
Doing a bit of damage.
He's trying to prevent the last hitting right now, being as annoying as possible to let these turrets take some of that CS. That's really good positioning on the tower from Fury. A bit risky if the Gragas had been there.
Yeah.
And he was, in fact, right at the Krugs, but not yet able to make a play. So very aggressive laning.
Yeah, well, I think they know they've got this new duo to deal with. They did just beat them in the qualifiers. So, for once, Samsung, the veterans in this situation.
finally some of these Samsung players no longer rookies. I mean, they came in last season with 3 rookies on this team, and even Fury only having a single season under his belt.
Yeah.
Wraith, the most seasoned player on this team.
Well, flash pulverize. Oh, nice
Hello.
headbutt. Fury back into catch, but look at that, taking a ride out on the Lantern. Nice escape. Luna's been really on top of things in game 1 and now saving his ADC in game 2.
Yeah, just trading flash for flash right there in the end, and also getting knowledge of the jungler. So really valuable information coming in for Samsung, even though they do take a few knocks onto their AD carry. Eve is on the bottom side of the map. If Eve needs to make a return counter gank right here, we do see Catch lurking in that brush, and he will be found out and then back off. Eve with a slight level advantage on him. Crown just continuing to push up in this mid lane.
Yeah, just throwing down a ward just to make sure that he's not in any trouble from Catch coming up and trying to mess with him. And Cuvée about to go Mega Gnar there.
Yeah, Cuvée with a pretty big CS lead already.
Yeah.
Soul not able to play quite as aggressively on that minion wave without that flash up, and just getting bullied out as well by the ranged auto attack from the Gnar. Can be a tricky matchup for Maokai. Also forces that extra early Doran's ring just to stay closer in terms of CS this game.
Well, Fury already doing a good job of getting ahead in CS in the bot lane too, just playing this still so aggressively. There's not a lot that Vivid and Dan can do aside from just wait for their minion wave to show up and ask their jungler for ganks.
I'm surprised that we haven't seen really that much pressure onto the Dragon yet. Samsung's not exactly that high up in levels, and Eve still looking to pick up some items here, but even so, Eve going to clear out a ward for backing off. But with the pressure that they've had continuously in the mid and bottom lane, there are opportunities for Eve at least to make it a try, take a stab at getting a solo Dragon.
Oh, here we go. Headbutt pulverized. Fury could be in a little bit of trouble. Gets a shield from the Lantern. Luna just steps in to keep the other bot lane back. And I feel like Vivid and Dan have some good attempts, you know, but they're just falling farther and farther behind. 53 CS to 39 now.
I don't think you expect this Jinx lane to be playing as aggressively as they are, but Fury and Luna really look like they're on the same page here in terms of laning, and Luna always stepping in. Seems like chasing Fury down is an illusion for this SIEU bottom lane, because every time it seems like they can punish him, they come up with, Luna comes up with a creative way to get Fury out of that situation and justify his aggressive posturing. It's been really fun to watch this lane this game.
Yeah, I was really impressed with Luna's play last game, and certainly doesn't seem to be letting up at all in game number 2. That Janna had a lot of good whirlwinds, a lot of really impressive ults actually.
Well, it says a lot too, because Wraith and Fury's laning was never really a problem on Samsung. They were always strong in that regard. And here comes the Dragon.
Okay, well, Vivid and Dan are going to maybe try to contest this, but we'll see. Okay, yeah, they have to back off with Catch coming in.
Yeah, Smart Dragon at the ramp right there, or Smart Ward rather at the ramp right there, out of range of the pink ward on the Dragon. So they were seen unable to clear it, and that gave Catch some time to respond and get into that bottom side on time. And that'll force Samsung just to walk off right there. They made the nice attempt. Smart play. See if you can take that Dragon. If you can't, just go ahead. Wait for the next time you'll have that window, because you're already winning lanes in bottom and top just in terms of farm. So no need to play overly aggressive right now. You've got great scaling with this Jinx. Although you're going to be playing primarily for that mid game again. SIEU getting a lot of armor will be problematic, just because Lulu's damage will fall off and Gnar not having so much damage to speak of. So,
well, it's like you said earlier, it's really all about this Jinx, and if they need Fury to carry, and he's certainly been up to the task so far. See if he can do it. Blue buff checked by Do It, but it's too late.
Yeah, a little bit of a miss timing right there on that blue buff. They assumed that because Crown walked out of lane that he was actually taking the blue, when in fact he was just faking up to the top side. So not the cleanest of decisions right there. He should have known more about the jungler's pathing, considering where Rek'Sai started in this game.
Shouldn't have done it. Oh, now it's just the ADCs. I don't think we're going to get to see the duel. Oh well. Time to go back and buy. And, oh, Kube actually doing a lot of damage to Soul there. With that Meganar. Pretty close fight, but I feel like you'd give Meganar the edge in the end in that one if we kept going.
Yeah, definitely would.
Yeah.
Well, finally, first buy coming in from Fury, already with the BF sword and the pickaxe right here.
Wow.
And that'll be Dan's time to go back, but this is the Void Rush coming in. They're trying to abuse the recall timing, and they're going to get it. Lucian not there, and we do see Gragas on the top side, so Samsung has a chance just to go for this dragon right now. It is definitely theirs if they want it. Catch still walking down to that bottom side of the map, and Jinx in minigun form is going to clear this dragon very quickly with these item buy.
Yeah, there's no way that Dan's getting there in time to do anything about it. And so Samsung, oh, that was really close. Eve managed to get that with the smite, but that gave me a heart attack for a second.
And do it actually choosing not to ult right there into the pit.
Yeah.
And there's the ult onto the blue buff instead, but it will be early. So the blue buff transfer still will be safely over to Crown in this situation.
Yep, so things looking pretty good again for Samsung. Nice leads in ADC. Oh, meanwhile, Crown though getting a little bit caught. Gank in the mid lane here. Eve able to get in and save him. Crown forced to ult himself, so that's going to be some damage onto the mid lane turret.
That was a lot of disrespect from Crown. So you know that they know you're at blue because Do It just decided to ult over there, and then Crown opts to walk in that very dangerous pathway without a pink ward in it to make sure that they didn't have vision just to come over the wall and smack him right there. So he has to blow his ult a little bit early. It's going to limit the aggressive options in the mid lane. Kube a lot of damage to Soul right there, using his ultimate, but not forcing him to flash.
I feel like that was just kind of one of those rookie moves, you know, that you see from Crown.
Kube still not going back yet. 11 minutes into this game, he's got a lot of farm and a lot of gold to spend at this stage. We're going back for some pretty big buys, but
yep, I'm just getting used to the idea of Kube winning lane, but he seems improved.
Yep.
But then again, it's against Spenu, and it's only the first couple games of the season, but so far so good. Okay, now a rotation into the mid lane. Looks like they're going to try to just push Do It away from here.
This is not going to work. Like, this isn't the same game. So they tried that same move at about the same timing that we saw in the last match, except instead of a Fizz being there, there is a Ziggs.
Yeah, they're
clearing out that wave. So you don't really have that same timing at all.
Going to end up taking damage on their turrets instead.
Okay, finally going back. We'll be able to finish his Hex Drinker and Merc Treads.
Not bad.
And another boot. Oops, what's he doing? He just bought 2 boots. There we go, Spectre Scala and boots. Okay, figured it out in the end. Good job.
All right. Yeah, I don't quite need those Merc Treads just yet, I suppose, Kube.
He was on his way to buying 1 Merc Tread for each foot, but he avoided that. Instead,
well, the trouble with Gnar is that you're always going to outgrow them every, minute or two. You have a couple extra shoes.
But see, the brilliance of Gnar in this skin is that he's just wearing the dinosaur onesie, and then he turns into the dinosaur itself.
His costume becomes him. Or he becomes his costume. Which is it?
He's like Venom from Spider-Man.
That's true. Gnar is Venom. Well, if Gnar is Venom, who's Spider-Man? Oh, Vivid getting flayed back. There's a teleport coming down for Spenu as well, too. I don't know if they're going to get a lot out of that one.
Well, they did force the TP out. It was canceled in the end.
Yes.
They got a flash for it. Luna getting a bit antsy after seeing the TP and not having enough backup necessarily in order to deal with that. Well, Fury going to grab a few more CS here on the bottom side with his rockets. And
I mean, Samsung's got a big teleport edge now, right? And so, let's see what they can get with it. It's going to be a little while until Dragon, though, yet. All right. There is a ward there, so Eve is seen coming in, I believe. There was a ward there. I think they cleared it out.
Eve still looking for something. Heads up into the tribe rush. Not sure if you can really safely dive this, but yeah, there's the culling just to clear out the wave.
Whoa, Kuve very, very low, and a lot of trouble here, turning on the Soul. Here comes Catch, just to help finish the job. He's about to be Meganar, though. Kuve trying to escape, almost dodges that body slam. There's a stun on the Soul as he comes in with the twisted advance, and Kuve, is he gonna get the kill? Zigzag comes in, first blood for Kuve. Looks like Catch will get the second blood, though.
Oh, so close
Wow.
to the wild growth on the flash, couldn't quite make it.
He tried. It was a nice attempt. Kuve, though, getting first blood.
Eve now down here, they may want to push them off the turret, so they are going to fast push a turret off of this. No real chance for the defense, culling down, not able to clear out the wave, and David and Dan.
And that's
force out. Crowd's still going, actually, and there's the Void Rush into the mid lane.
Are you kidding me? Look at this. This is the kind of Lulu I like to see. Crown manages to take down Catch. Wow.
So Catch didn't have his ult right there and stuck around on the turret. I'm not really sure how that play was set up because you wouldn't have thought that was possible, especially with Crown's flash down, so he couldn't just flash wild growth himself.
You don't expect a Lulu, to chase a Gragas down to tier 2 and finish him off in top lane.
Man, I don't know what Soul was doing right there. That was a big miscommunication between Soul and Catch, because going back in onto Kuve right as he turned into Meganar and standing next to a wall while he ults you, what a terrible plan.
It's not a good plan. It's a bad plan.
It was a bad plan.
It's a plan where you die. Well, Dragon's up in 25 seconds, and I feel like after that little series of events, Samsung is in a good position to do something about that. Luna just showing Vivid he knows where he's at.
Yeah, TP advantage still to Samsung as well.
Yep.
Now that this bottom turret's going to get shoved all the way in, it's going to be very difficult for SIEU to actually make a move here.
Good warding by Samsung as well, too.
That's been the story of this series. Samsung's warding has definitely been there.
Yep. And Dragon is up, so Samsung's going to turn on that one. Crown taking a tiny bit of damage, but we'll see if they can take the Dragon. They're not pulling it out of the pit, though. Catch could come in and try to burst that. They're just going to leave off on it. And, oh boy, Catch really is going to try to do it. Can he do it? Now they're coming in Samsung. There's the box for a bit of zoning. Death Sentence misses. Dragon's still very, very low.
Just go ahead and let it release if you're Samsung. You want to use this TP. Narbar nearly full right now. Look at the crab, though. Does get taken by SIEU as they re-aggro the Dragon.
Yep. Eve coming from the side. Do it. Finally coming down from mid lane. Luna going for another Death Sentence. There's a teleport. Luna may have overextended. Flurry comes, or Fury comes down rather. Luna backing off. Vivid in the middle of everything, and here's Kuve into the back lines as Meganar, big ult against the wall, and the rest of Samsung coming in to try to finish this up. Fury's getting excited. That's going to be a single kill for him, and they're going to turn onto this Dragon. Look at the Samsung team. Not over pursuing, they turned back onto the objective. That's new.
Yeah. And SIEU right there did a good job of waiting until Soul's TP came up.
Yeah.
So they were trying to play that patiently, get the poke down with Ziggs. They even got control over that speed shrine in the river, but their initial setup just wasn't there. The wards were already down. Samsung had the position in the river, and they weren't caught in a choke by Ziggs, so they could just spread out, and they weren't taking a lot of damage from that poke, not zoned out. And so Fury comes back after picking up that kill, already with an Infinity Edge and a Zeal. Look how far ahead of Dan he is.
Yeah.
In terms of that CS, as well as the kill and the assist. And
as well as items, too. I mean, he's got a core item and a Zeal done.
And Dan close to that Infinity Edge at this point, but not quite there yet.
Yeah.
Fury will take a quick detour over for the red buff.
So Athene's first for both of our mid laners as well, too.
Yeah, what you would expect in this matchup. I mean, Ziggs really does benefit from having that big-time mana boost. Very high mana cost champion as it is, and you especially need that. If you want to do the sustained damage in teamfights, you have to get that reset on the mana with the kills and assists that you get off of Athene's.
So the question is now for Samsung, can they start pushing down some of these turrets as fast as they did last game? And obviously it's going to take a little bit more time. Ooh, here we go, SIEU coming in. They've locked down Eve for the moment. Looks like they might be able to get a kill. Oh, he gets out on the Lantern though. Meanwhile, uh-oh, here comes Jinx. A lot of damage on the Soul so far. Catch throwing the barrel over the wall. Doesn't hit anybody though. That's another kill for Samsung. Over pursuing a bit.
And
it costs him a top laner.
it does, but how much more is Samsung going to get for this? There's no Ziggs ult now to clear out this top side. They still have 3 people.
They've got Gragas too. He's able to do plenty of damage to minions. Looks like that'll be enough for now.
It's a lot of poke coming in from Fury, though. Those rockets are really starting to hurt with the Infinity Edge and forcing down in the top side. And just this unrelenting pressure. Crown continuing just to shove in that mid lane. And we do see Kube force another wave into the tower after that Ziggs ult goes down. And here's another couple of autos for Jinx in that minigun form. Forcing Do It off as well right there, just zoning him. There's the lantern, ripping Fury out of harm's way.
Can that pink ward not see that stealth ward?
May not be able to.
He just walked right past it. I would imagine he'd see it. He's walking right on top of it. Meanwhile, Soul going for the 1v1 against Kube here. Do It comes in to try to help him pick up that red buff. Meanwhile, more action up in the top lane as that turret's getting very low. Nice grab off the Flame Chompers there on to catch. A lot of damage onto him.
Yeah, just so much zone control on the tower right now.
Yeah.
Setting up those Chompers and then unable to stop Fury as long as the Lantern is there to whisk him to safety.
Yeah, they can't see that ward in the brush. Lunas just like stood on it for a long time. Wow.
Cute little attempt right there, but not going to finish off the kill onto Ziggs. Ziggs bounces away to safety. Did have to use his ghost in that situation.
All right, so Samsung deep in the enemy jungle now. Able to get a lot of vision in. Catch in the tri-brush. Luna
Blind hook.
Throws a blind hook in there. Yeah, nearly hits catch. Got to give it a try.
I saw him go in with the ward, so it was actually proper positioning for catch right there to be standing in the least likely place for him to blind hook. Right into the top side.
I feel like tops of tri-brush is where everyone's going to start throwing their blind hooks now. That's where everybody hides, is the top of tri-brush.
Furious here again. Taking your turrets.
Good zoning again with the Flame Chompers too, just making sure that nobody can come in and contest it. So now the Bulldozer has begun to roll forward, and is there anything that Spenu can do to stop it?
Well, they're losing all their lanes,
so
and they're down 2 dragons, and they're down 5K gold already in this one.
You're not really getting my hopes up here.
I am not trying to. Phantom Dancer now done for Fury as well. Well, the feed Fury composition is going swimmingly so far.
Aegis of the Legion for Luna as well, just to try to stave off some of that magic damage.
Now, even with this lead, this is the lead that Samsung needs, because you can see the Frozen Heart developing on catch, Randuin's Omen, and the Ninja Tabi already finished on Soul as well. So they definitely know what they need to do to itemize in this particular situation. Do It actually going for a Void Staff as a second item. That's a bit desperate, I have to say.
Well, I don't know if it's going to save this turret. Doesn't even take out all the minions there.
God, it's so annoying to deal with Jinx in these siege situations.
Yeah.
Because with that shield and the minigun, she could do so much damage before that shield actually breaks, even under direct turret fire, getting 2 or 3 autos off with that attack speed boost. So she could be there without a minion wave, still dealing a ton of damage, particularly now that Crown has just finished his death cap as well. So this is a really good time for him to use that big shield onto Fury to get that last remaining outer turret.
Only a couple seconds till Dragon comes up again, so Samsung's going to be looking for maybe a pick here before they move near the pit. They've got vision.
And Spenu has no Ziggs ult either, so there's not really a good way.
The damage from Jinx. Okay, they're going to go for it. Catch tried to use his ult to maybe knock somebody back. Wild Growth used on Fury just for safety's sake.
Yeah, Fury also flashed right there, so that's one less tool he's going to have available to him.
Yep. Did you see how much damage he was doing to do it, though?
Yep.
It's pretty insane.
Here we go. They've got the position they want right now, and they can continue just swapping back and forth.
Well, they grab Catch right onto the Flame Chompers. He's in a lot of trouble now. Vivid over the wall, though. Teleport coming in for Samsung to support. And here we go. Soul going deep. They're onto Crown. Dragon activated, too, hitting some of the members of Samsung. Meanwhile, Fury just in the middle of everything, just unafraid. He's getting excited now again. And that's enough for Samsung. They're just going to turn and take this dragon, maybe grab this mid lane turret
No,
first.
you want to take the mid turret first, push
Yeah.
the wave, and then safely take that dragon. That way you can maximize your objectives. There's the ult coming in again. Nearly takes out Crown, but not quite.
Yep.
Be a little bit overly ambitious, I feel, at this stage to go for the Baron. Just go ahead, take the third dragon, keep those stacks rolling, and
Yeah, just play it safe. You've already got a big lead. I mean, the game is yours to win or lose at this point if you're Samsung. Easy third dragon. Samsung looking just miles ahead of Spenu Sonic Boom in this first match anyway.
well, and that one kill onto Kuve as well is the only thing that's preventing Spenu from actually getting perfect games so far.
Yeah.
No
Kuve.
towers taken, no dragons taken here by Spenu, so it's been a pretty thoroughly dominant performance across the map for Samsung.
Yep. I mean, and Spenu came into this specifically building a composition to try to stop what happened last game from happening. And, you know, they've got a comp where it's inevitable that they'll slow it down a bit at least, but they're not really stopping it in any way, shape, or form.
Well, Samsung's really been on top of the turret game once again. They seem to have found a niche that they can really leverage into some of these wins against at least weaker opponents pretty easily. Yeah, Samsung coming back again. The question is, what do they do now that they have that outer turret down? Certainly they're in a place to threaten that Baron, particularly as Jinx gets more and more items. Fury on the cusp of that last whisper now, and that's going to make a world of difference, especially as Spenu has yet to complete one of those big armor items at this stage. He should hit that 3-item power spike right as Randuin's or this Frozen Heart are completed, and that's going to do a lot to nullify those items.
It's pretty good timing.
Yeah, very good timing.
Well, Samsung still setting up for that Baron. They've gotten most of the wards out of the way for now. And they're actually doing it from over the wall. Look at that. Wow, that is so sneaky. Fury just doing so much damage that Spenu, they suspect. Oh, and now they see it.
Yeah, now they have to back off. You see they back off immediately after that, Eve with the tunnel
It was a cute idea.
underneath the wall, but you have to be suspicious.
Yep.
And nice attempt from Samsung. Might as well take a stab and then just immediately back off if you need to.
I think it'd be more appropriate to say take a shot
Take a shot.
at it this time. Well, keeping the lanes pushed up. At this point, Samsung can be pretty leisurely about all this. Do you think they can just kind of wait for the next dragon or another opportunity around Baron?
Sure, I mean, you could stack dragons at this point if you want. Again, you have to be worried about this going into the late game because Thornmails are really going to throw off your groove here.
I suppose. So if you're Samsung, maybe you do feel a little bit of pressure at least.
As long as you can stop him from doing the Baron and stacking to 5. I mean, a dragon right now would be absolutely huge for Spenu because they might be able to turtle long enough to take this to a win. But that 8k gold gap is getting pretty big, even for a more single damage threat team to deal with.
Very true.
And unfortunately for them as well, Crown is definitely ahead of Do It in terms of itemization because he didn't take the triage build of early Void Staff, instead went for the Death Cap and has nearly completed the Void Staff himself right now. So SIEU going to be doing quite a lot.
All right. So warding mission from Spenu. Gonna take out a few here. Another turret falls in bot lane. And oh, they caught catch.
Well, you got the Scuttle Crab, but definitely was not worth it.
Nope. Oh, Kube has to back off a little bit, taking pretty much a full culling from Dan. The chase continues, but he's leading them away while his team does Baron. So if they take out Kube, totally worth it. Here comes the Ziggs ultimate. Not doing a whole lot, except helping Samsung out. And there we go, Baron for Samsung Galaxy.
And Kube gets away in the end without having to use Flash as well.
It's impressive.
And here we go once again, Samsung with his hard push. Now they did so much with the Baron buff in that last game.
And this is a big chance too to push back Spenu and get ready for that fourth dragon as well, I suppose.
Fury's going in.
Uh-oh, do it. A lot of trouble. Flashes over the Flame Choppers. Death Sentence does miss. They're going to knock Luna way back in there, so that's a kill for SIEU. A little bit overeager for Samsung there.
Well, Luna did try and flash hook that.
He did.
And then got bounced immediately into the turret. So Samsung trying to be a little bit stylish right there. But
I like the effort. I like the effort. I like the style, you know.
They still got a turret thanks to split pushing Rek'Sai.
Yeah.
So all was not lost. A big commitment there just for a kill. In the end, Samsung does come out ahead. But losing that Baron on the support, not the most impactful either, obviously. Yeah, losing it on your top or your, in this case, the jungler, because Rek'Sai is a jungler that can split push as though she had teleport with the Void Rush is much more important. And Dragon up in 40 seconds. Here comes the setup. Fury just pushing ahead while he can.
Kube
and that
getting
blue
aggro.
buff actually taken by Kube.
He's getting aggro with his build, too.
Oh boy.
I believe that's the new Black Cleaver icon.
It is the new Black Cleaver.
Wow. It's very dark.
Honestly, I mean, it's by no means a terrible build. We see, if we talk about what it does, so if we think about how a lot of these Gnar players used to build Frozen Mallet just for split pushing purposes and for abusing a melee opponent, I mean, instead of slowing your opponent, you get that phage speed boost instead, and you can start to cut through the armor in terms of auto harassment. Here he's just actually going straight for the tower.
He's kind of ignoring Soul completely.
Look at this.
Wow, look at the damage.
Yeah, you can do a lot of damage. This new Black Cleaver is very strong.
Yeah, Soul losing quite a bit of health there.
So I think it is understandable why you would take it.
Well, there's Dragon number 4 for Samsung. They continue to just sort of walk all over SIEU, which is funny because SIEU is a shoe company. So.
Wow, that is just incredibly irritating to deal with this Gnar with the phage speed boost. And there's a banner of command.
Wow, they have to use a Grog Assault just to keep this terrifying mini Gnar away.
Well, they can't deal with the banner either.
Yeah.
So banner of command on the support right here, and there's really nothing they can do to clear out this minion, actually.
He's a one-man army.
You're terrible.
I got 10 hours of sleep in the last 3 days. All right, turret goes down in top lane, and Fury's going to take the one in mid easily enough. Not even burning through that Lulu shield. Kube's Mega Gnar now.
Still haven't killed the minion.
Nope. Kube and this minion, man.
Honestly, Banner's a fantastic buy in this situation.
Oh wow, the exhaust.
Wow.
Dan, he gets away. Kube makes it out.
Nicely played by Kube. So Banner in this particular scenario, when you have this early Baron, is actually a really good buy. Because if you think about how they're going to clear it out, the only way they can deal with this minion is with Lucian.
Yeah, only physical damage will do it.
So they actually can't turtle with Ziggs as long as the Baron is up and that Bannered minion is there, and it actually wins them a turret for their teleport. Meanwhile, Kube just teleports right back to the inhibitor.
Yeah, they're going to take out 2 inhibitors at the same time here, possibly. They may just win the game right here, too. Vivid charging in with Home Guard, but look at this. Already, Dan is very low health. There goes one inhibitor. The one on top is going to fall very soon as well, too. Nice rocket. Oh, Fury. Wild Growth keeping him alive. He's running away. Excited enough. Oh, there's the kill offer to it. Oh, wow. A lot of damage at the ult, too.
Right onto the minefield.
Yep.
But they got 2 inhibitors for it, so, I mean, Kube was absolutely scot-free and just autoing the inhibitor to death by himself.
Hashtag worth.
In the top side, he now has a pickaxe as well. Maybe he will be going for that Frozen Mallet eventually.
Just keep building damage. Grab an IE while you're at it.
IE Gnar. That would please
not?
me. Yeah, the new Black Cleaver. Definitely understandable why you would buy that in this situation. More health, getting that cooldown reduction is so nice on a champion like Gnar as well.
Soul just cannot do anything to Kube right now.
In spite of having a frozen heart too, so that's really saying something. All right, well, 2 more minutes until the next Baron. We'll see. Samsung definitely does not need to wait for the next Baron with their massive gold lead to finish this one.
You know, actually, oh, there's Mauve Malmortius now for Kube.
Ah, it was a Maw, okay.
I was going to say. Do you build maybe a Last Whisper with this too, if you're just going all out on the damage?
Nah, I think you have enough armor penetration with the Black Cleaver, just with the auto attacks right there.
It's true.
By itself.
Well, now Kube is ready to truly slay people. Teleport coming in from behind. Soul's going to try to make a flank here. Samsung backing away. Luna getting a little bit caught. He hooks Dan. There we go. Here comes the engage. Can Smenu do anything about this? Kube a little bit on his own, but here comes Fury from behind. He's got to be careful. Fury getting close. There's the kills coming in now. Soul trying to lock up this mid laner, but he just can't do enough damage. The shields are too strong. Meanwhile, Kube just playing his own game. Whoa! Here's the rocket.
He was actually playing Dan's game right there. But
I think so. Dance Revolution. Goodbye. Oh, he lives. Oh, Fury, he wants it. Yeah, there it is. He's excited now. Oh, no! Well, the Nexus kills Fury, but the rest of the team kills the Nexus. GG and a 2-0.